What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Should be live, should be ready to go for Chelsea versus Manchester City. It's first game of the season. I am absolutely buzzing for this one. I'm excited. Our team lineup looks unbelievable. I've been rushing to get back for it. And fingers crossed we can make something happen. I'll tell you what, off the bat, I did not expect this lineup. I've got to be completely honest. This just wasn't what I expected to see. I'm intrigued to see how it looks. This is going to be good though. I've got a feeling this is a much stronger team than I expected. A much stronger team. So fingers crossed. Chelsea are ready to go because I didn't think Jackson was going to be fit. I didn't think Maresca was going to pick this team. This is promising for me. We're going to have to see how it plays, but yeah, as strong as you can nearly get for a Chelsea team. Look at that back four. It looks okay. I'm glad Badashile's not made it. Levi Colwell, I think there's a good player in there, but it's going to take a long time to start seeing that probably. Wesley Fofana, I just think he's rusty. That's my hoping at the moment. Enzo Fernandez, Lavia, and Casado have all been fitted in. That's great for me. And then Palmer, Jackson, and Kunku as your front three. That screams goals. So fingers crossed, Chelsea are ready to go and we look lively. It is going to be a serious test for Maresca. The bench looks okay. I was glad to see Pedro Neto on it, but you've got to be honest. There's some glaring omission of quality on the bench. And Raheem Sterling not being in the squad is absolutely crazy. I didn't see that coming. I think he's probably been one of the better players in pre-season. Obviously, the news of the agent or the representative of Raheem Sterling coming out now and talking about it as well isn't good. I don't think that's a good look. I think you need to keep quiet if you're Raheem Sterling's camp and basically just accept that you're willing to leave. We all know what's happening. They're doing exactly the same with Sterling as they're going to do with Chilwell, as they've done with Chalobah. We all know what's happening. It's happening in front of our eyes. So where's he going to go? Because they're just going to try and cash in. They've realised that this is working and this is what they're going to do. They do not care. The only thing I'll say about Sterling is he hasn't been good enough. He hasn't. And I've got a funny feeling they try and work a Juventus swap deal for Chiesa or something like that. Enzo starts as captain as well. Here we go. Come on, Chelsea. And we're off. Stamford Bridge sees its first kick of competitive football in the 24-25 season. Welcome everyone coming in as well. I hope you've been enjoying the weekend of Premier League football. I certainly have. It's great to see Premier League football, competitive football being played again, to be honest with you, because it feels like it's been far too long. I know we had the Euros, but they just didn't hit the same for me. So, yeah, I need the Premier League back. Oh, Colwell looking loose on the ball already. I'm telling you guys, Levi Colwell isn't looking unreal. I'm just sort of, in terms of recent fixtures, I don't mean just now, though. It's not great. I'm just going to try and let it play out a bit before we start assessing how we're playing. Just try and see where players are picking up their positions and things like that. Very early on, it looks as if Casado and Lavia are going to sit in there as a pivot and Enzo's going to play in the 10. So that's what it's looking like early on, to be honest with you. Manchester City, they're suggesting that Kovacic and Bernardo Silva will be their deepest midfielders, but I'm sure they'll push on and Rico Lewis will find his way in there. Enzo Maresca's credit, one treble as Guardiola's assistant coach. Brilliant. Right. I'm intrigued to see because those two are there in Gusto and in Lavia. I'm intrigued to see. I don't feel we'll see the inverting from the fullbacks because those two are. Do you know what? They're basically doing the same movement here. I'm not sure about Enzo as a 10. I don't think that's going to work going forward in the Premier League. It might, but where he's playing right now is exactly what Poch was asking Gallagher to do last season at times, and we all know Gallagher did a better job than Enzo at that role. Enzo gives the ball away on the turn. That's pretty typical in terms of Enzo and what I've seen from him in trying to progress the ball forwards over the years he's been at Chelsea. To be honest with you, be a good test for for Malagusto today as well. Obviously playing against Salvio looked really good. I thought for the cameo that he had in the Community Shield. Like I've been saying for days now, for weeks, it's an absolute baptism of fire. Manchester City, as much as Pep might be saying they're weak, they will be ready to go, and they'll probably only improve. Yeah, and already we're under pressure. We're just having to hoof the ball forwards at the moment. Yeah, so off the bat, in out of possession on the ball, it looks as if we're defending in a 4-4-2. You've got your two sixes sitting in Lavia and Casado. Enzo pushes himself up alongside Jackson, where we saw Conor Gallagher press from last season. And you've got Cole Palmer out on the right, and you've got Nkunku sort of playing in this left-hand side position. I'm sure going forward and on the ball, they'll be a little bit more fluid. But right now, that's what we're looking at. It's actually very similar to how we saw Pochettino line up against Manchester City most times we played last season. Doku could be a fantastic player, couldn't he? I feel like his end product really is off it at times. And Kunku, Rico Lewis, well done. And Kunku's looking sharp. We're in a good position here. Lavia is out. Lavia and Casado, they're just going to be doing the same job either side of the pitch, I feel like. And we are in a really good position. We've kind of gone all the way back out there. Yeah, Gusto is definitely providing some width, and Cucurella as well is quite advanced. We're definitely playing. We're leaving two at the back because of the double six kind of sitting in there. I think he feels pretty confident leaving them. Gusto's high and wide, not high and inverted. That gives me a lot of faith for Reece James. You know, if he can get back fit in this team, because I think he'd be allowed to play how he wants to. I'll tell you what, the way this club are is just crazy at the moment, though. I can't work it out. I was just looking through the squad bench. There's a couple of players in there, I think, that have played 17 games. Sterling was arguably Chelsea's best player at times against Manchester City last season, and he's not even made the subs bench. They're paying him 300 grand a week, and they what they do by dropping him and removing from the matchday squad, they just literally start chopping away at his value. And maybe that's what they want to do because they just want to shift off the wages. So it is what it is. I just think it's not right how they just sort of banish these players when like Mark Gui's played like 17 professional football matches in his whole career. Just find that hard to believe that they just dropped Sterling like that. Look, I'm not saying Sterling's been good enough, and I'm actually not saying he should start. If Nkunku's fit and going to play that role, then I think Nkunku probably plays over Sterling. Sterling's not been good enough for Chelsea over the time that he's been here already. We know that. We all are well aware of that. For the money that he's getting paid, it's not good enough. But wouldn't you just give him another chance to try and maximise what he might be worth? Or do they rather him go for 20 million, take half the money hit, and sell him on and get the wages off the books? You never know. If it means getting Sterling off the book means Osimhen, I'd probably take it, to be honest with you. He's not Chelsea through and through. He's not been good enough at times. I can live with that. I just think you keep him on the subs bench though, and don't bring him on rather than tell him he's not in the squad. I wonder when he found out as well. He could have, honestly, he could have found out today. Some managers put their squad out today. Anyone got any predictions for this game? Early doors, 7 minutes in. Chelsea are, I'm just trying to get more in the middle. Chelsea are looking okay. Enzo in, yeah, okay. So early tweak looks as if Enzo's sort of dropping back now. They're trying to, oh, they're in here. City are in. Bernardo Silva and corner. And that's a good block in the end. Chelsea just dropped Enzo a little bit deeper there off the ball. Oh, is that Salvio? He's tidy. He looks exciting. Yeah, Chelsea are definitely probably zonal there with a couple of man for man markers, to be honest with you, at that corner. Definitely defending some areas of space, defending the zone. I'm not a massive fan of zonal marking at corners. I understand it to an extent, but for me, I think man for man at corners and just probably marking a post is probably the better way to go. Fafana's marking no one. There's no one around him. Yeah, he gets a clean header, but sometimes it's better to have him on a man who could potentially be free and not enter his zone. So we'll see how that goes going forward. We've got a set piece coach now, and it's obviously worked for him. Enzo with a great ball out. I hope he's onside. Malo Gusto, options in the box. Vardio with an exceptional block. Let's see what happens. We've got a corner here. The way we started moving then on the counter attack was lovely. Enzo does well to get the ball out. I always feel like Enzo's struggling to get enough power on his passes, you know. But he got it out to Gusto. Cole Palmer whips it in. Oh, I think Wesley 20. Yeah, Wesley's 29. Good effort. It's a lovely little sort of half cross from Cole Palmer. It doesn't quite reach where he probably wanted it to get to. Fafana volleys it on the side foot and it just flies over the bar. First appearance for Chelsea since May 2023. That is incredible. I hope Wesley Fofana can keep his fitness up because I feel like that's the biggest issue for him. I actually don't have too much of a doubt over his quality. I probably have more of a doubt over how consistent he can be, what sort of player he is after returning from injury. But from what I've seen of him, I think there's evidence there that he's actually been really good in his career so far in the Premier League when available. Doku looking to have a go at Kukurea here. Goes down the line. Chops back. Kukurea strong. Wins it back. Love that, Kooks. Unbelievable, Kukurea. Dispossessing Doku there. Does very well in the battle. Salvio, though, takes the ball back off Cole Palmer. Kukurea did very well then. Have to admit. Oh, Rico Lewis drifts away. Doku 1-on-1 with Kooks into the box. Left foot. Wow. Some miss. End product on Doku is questionable. If he had it, wow. They really need to work on that. Like, he comes inside and he's side-footed it and it starts heading out towards the corner flag. I know it's his weak foot, but come on. That's going to be a good battle because I feel like Kukurea looks up for that one. Doku obviously looking electric as normal, and Kukurea kind of matched him there over the 5 yards that he accelerated away. Jackson in behind. Enzo's out here on the left wing, looking for a runner. No real striker in the box for Chelsea. Cole Palmer occupying that sort of real right wing position. Not really drifting inside at all at the moment. He might now, though, with Gusto going high up on the right. And it's back round again. We're not looking for a way through centrally here at all. It's just recycling. It's back out, work it back round again. Cole Palmer gets on the ball. He's obviously the one we think can make something happen. Comes inside. Kovacic dispossesses right in the middle of their Manchester City half. De Bruyne out here on the left, all the way out to Doku's the battle they're trying to get here. Definitely is. Doku Kukureya, they feel like he can expose him. And Kukureya really is putting up a shift. Manchester City work it all the way back to Akanji there. He's not letting him through. I really rate this so far from Kukureya. Bernardo Silva's come out to have a go now. Doku again. They're really working it down Chelsea's left-hand side. Manchester City's right. Doku, Kukureya battles again. Fouled by Doku. What a battle this is proven to be very early on. If this is Kukureya from now on, we've got some player. We really do. He looks very sharp, flying high. Oh, okay. Malagusta does well again. Jackson on the run. Oh, intercept. Vardio was just so on it with those interceptions. 13 minutes gone here. Still 0-0. A competitive game. We win the ball back. Enzo Fernandez in that 10 position. Jackson. Vardio does well. I don't know what's happened there. I can't see where the ref's pointed. I think they've given a foul against Jackson, which is Jackson steps past. Oh, he kind of his hands around Ruben Diaz's neck a bit there. He just doesn't need to do that. If he just keeps his pressure on Ruben Diaz, he probably wins a corner there. Anyway, we're looking good on the counter attack. Not so much in possession right now, which is interesting to see because some would say it's similar to how we set up under Pochettino against Manchester City. Enzo is our furthest man forward on the press, literally doing what Conor Gallagher did last season. There's no difference here. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like I'm watching, apart from the double pivot, I don't think there's that much difference right now in what I've seen very early on. Nothing drastic. Like Enzo is doing exactly what Conor Gallagher was asked to do last season. But Conor Gallagher doesn't fit into this system. If you're asking a player to be your main man pressing, going forwards, I genuinely think Conor Gallagher does a better job than Enzo there, which is crazy. I understand that on the ball, it's not the same player. I do understand that, but it kind of baffles me a bit to just say that he isn't going to work in the system when you've not even given him a chance. Another failed attempt to play out again from Chelsea. We've played the ball out here to Kukureya. Look, he's been fouled. I think they're going to give him a free kick. It's a soft one. Back to Levi Colwell. Sanchez out of his box, literally past the D. See what he does here. Sends it about 70 yards straight to Akanji. Chelsea go up the other end to press. They've won it back. Jackson back heels it out to no one. Maybe not even making it for a throw-in. Manchester City play it across their own goal. It's risky football for Manchester City. Chelsea aren't anywhere near for the press there, though. They're very centrally there. Manchester City worked it wide. We're making it hard for City. They're definitely not finding it easy to play through us, which is probably the most important thing. I just feel that a Rodri in there suddenly makes it a lot more difficult for this Chelsea team to defend the way that they are. De Bruyne working his way out on the left-hand side. De Bruyne's drifting out very wide in this game. Got to be said. That's how compact Chelsea's midfielders looked, actually. I moaned about the gaps between Inter Milan, against Inter Milan, between our defensive and midfield line. It's much better today. Even the attack. That's probably the bigger gap, but defense to midfield, it's much smaller. It's a lot more compact. Defensively, 17 minutes in, I think they put some work in. Enzo's kind of doing the job. Where I felt there were gaps against Inter Milan between the midfield and the attack, Enzo's picking up that role and occupying it. Haaland's in here, though. Kooks, goal. They come straight through the middle, 1-0 Manchester City. Literally straight through the middle. It's just going to be a constant problem. I'm just talking about how much more compact we look, but they still can't defend in between the lines. Like, in between where your right back to your centre back is, to your centre back to your centre back to your left back. They're just not doing a very good job. 18 minutes in, 1-0, Haaland does what he does. It's happened like that. Doku comes out to the right. See you later, Casado. Plays it inside. Look. Do you know what? I don't know if Bernardo Silva's onside or not. He might be offside. It's going to be on Levi Colwell if Bernardo Silva's on or not there. Look, what can you do? Haaland's not missing that. It's a lovely finish. Sanchez is awful. He's never going to save that. It's honestly going to be if Bernardo Silva's offside because he's drifted past Wesley Fofana. It's just whether or not he's going to be. I think Levi Colwell's playing him on. They're not even checking this. No, he's not. Levi Colwell definitely isn't playing him on. You know what? This is going to be close. It's close between Fofana and Bernardo Silva. I think he's on. If I had to guess, I'd say he's on. I think Fofana's back leg is slightly further away. I think he's on. Oh, he's on, I think. Yeah, he's on. Yep. 1-0 Man City. Come straight through the middle. Actually, I'll tell you what, they played it out wide to Doku. Doku comes inside, plays it into Bernardo Silva. He kind of flicks it on, whether he meant it or not. It's what Gary Neville's saying. Little Nick goes to Haaland, who finds himself perfectly in between Cucurella and Haaland. Cucurella and Colwell. Neither's marking Haaland. He's just in between them. Sanchez comes rushing out, and he dinks it through the gap between Cucurella and Sanchez. It's frustrating because I just feel like it's a little bit. It's preventable, that I think. Someone tighter to Bernardo Silva, someone tighter on Haaland, and I don't think that goal happens. And Casado, Enzo's giving it away in the middle of the park here. Right, here we go. This is where Chelsea have struggled, right? Because when we've conceded, heads have dropped. Our left side defenders are so weak. Nah, maybe for that goal, but I don't. I think Cucurella's probably looked okay this game. I'm going to put that on the central defenders there because Bernardo Silva's got away from Fofana. I'm also going to blame Casado there. I think he's been far too soft in allowing Doku to pass him with ease there to play it inside. I don't. What can Cucurella do? Tell Colwell? That's probably it there. He tried to get across. He followed his man when he realised Colwell didn't have him. But this is the issue, is that defensively, I've been saying it. Our centre-backs, you're not going to... Vardiol isn't going to let that happen. If he does, I'll be so shocked. Akanji's not going to let that happen. But Colwell and Fofana might. They've turned it on now, Man City, as well. They're starting to move this ball a lot better. Enzo Fernandez, by the way, This is ridiculous. When are we going to start seeing him perform? Casado's getting run about. De Bruyne. Oh my gosh. This is what's been happening. Chelsea are chasing everything here. We're chasing everything. Oh my god, this is like it's like any idea of system or defensive instructions goes out the window. And that's what happens, isn't it? We've got a lot of young kids here. No one's experienced enough to be like, hang on, calm down. We know what we're doing. Just keep doing it right. Manager's got to do that as well. If he believes in his system, he needs to calm the players down. Because they look like headless chickens here. They're leaving their position, they're chasing the ball across the park. Enzo Fernandez is look, he's just getting the ball popped around him, mate. If you're going to be this much out of possession, look, this is where there are other players at Chelsea's disposal that have been shifted out of the squad completely. His press is a joke, mate. Enzo Fernandez's press is a joke, man. Gusto does well there, though, to prevent the ball going to De Bruyne. Cole Palmer can't quite thread the ball back to Gusto on that right-hand side. As soon as City have scored, they look wet. They just suddenly their sharpness just gone up a level. Casado, man. This is tough. Tough watch. I feel like last season, about 20 minutes in, we kind of struggled before as well. Look, we're looking to build up through the wide areas, which is what I was saying I was seeing in pre-season, no matter what sort of system it was. And Manchester City have worked that out, and we're struggling. We really are. We're pinned in our own box here at the moment. Cucurella plays it back out to Nkunku, and Nkunku can't turn. Trying to work it back out to the other side now. This is the football we wanted, Chelsea fans. We've got to be brave here and try and play through Manchester City. And Cucurella looks for it, but we go straight back out wide. I think we've got to be. I think we've got to be braver. And what the centre midfielders? There's three out there. Although Enzo's not really playing it, he's kind of playing as exactly the same as what Poch asked him to do last year. Right up high, one of the furthest players forward on the pitch as a number 10. He's linking the lines horrifically. Defensively, he's added nothing. What's Fernandez doing today? Because right now, there's not an option to start trying to play through. Casado tries it, gets intercepted. Manchester City, by the way, on the break, they're going to be lethal this season. I can just tell. That the pace that they've got in Savio and Doku, that's going to obliterate some teams. It really is. What are we saying, Chelsea fans? Savinio. I should be calling him, I think. Savio? Savinio? What are we calling him? Savinio. His name's Savio. Akanji under pressure with Nkunku. No foul, please. It is. Oh. That's soft. Anthony Taylor, that's soft. Akanji's bought that. He's looked for that. And Kunku's pressed unbelievably well there. He does pull his arm. He just doesn't need to pull his arm there. Akanji's going to go down easy, of course. Kovacic slacking possession there, but somehow can Cole Palmer win it back? He has. We need a new. He's not really had a chance, Jackson, has he? I'm not sure. I feel like our midfield is definitely losing this battle, man. It's crazy the way we're. What's this? Fofana sends it out to Nkunku. It's just negative. Like, it's not negative as such, but it's like, what are we doing? We're just recycling round and round the back. Like, Why are we not attempting to play through? I saw Arne Slot asking Liverpool to just play through Ipswich yesterday. And all right, yeah, it's Ipswich and Manchester City, but you can. Ipswich tried to play through Liverpool at times. You have to take risks here, and Chelsea are just side to side. Like this is exactly what I saw under Pochettino, guys. There's not a lot of difference here. Anyone telling me there's difference, I don't know what you're seeing because it's that U shape again, horseshoe shape. Cole Palmer gives the ball away. Cucurella on the press, wins it back. Come on, and Kunks. Cole Palmer's in it, edge of the box. Enzo, stop waving your hands and go and press and win it back. Casado does. Enzo's on the ball now. Lavia. Yeah, I feel like those three players are getting in their way. We do need longer, but to be honest with you, I'm not seeing a lot of difference in this system. No one's going to tell me this is drastically different to what we were doing last year under Poch. There we go. Lavia tries to play through, and Kunku enters the box here. 1-on-1 with Rico Lewis. Left-footed cross, back post. Gusto, can you keep that on? Keep it on, Gusto. That's better. I've got to be honest. That's what I want to see. Mikel says, we're not ready to play City. We need longer to implement the system. Look, I hear it. I know we need to implement a system, and City is tough, but you get dealt the fixtures that you're ready with. What are we? But we've not played this setup in pre-season. So what have we been doing for 5 games? Why weren't we trying to play with this exact system in pre-season? I find it kind of mad. Casado covering for Gusto out on the right. Gusto's inverted here defensively. Enzo works hard to get back. Chelsea back with 7 pretty quickly there, but they're deep. Get on the edge of your box better. Haaland's really trying to find the gaps in between Chelsea's defence. Gusto's very wide. The gap between the fullbacks and the centre backs is massive, massive. Derek, well done, Levi. Enzo. Oh, their press is so good. Chelsea have somehow got a throw in there. I agree. I think it's because we're not ready. Look, we're not ready. We're definitely not. I think this is true, and this is where you have to decide: is it worth the marketing, or is it worth? If you don't sack your manager, I think you can get away with it. But if you have a new manager coming in, you're probably better off scrapping pre-season tour and just letting him train and play some matches in your own country to just get the squad playing in the way that it should and ignore the travelling. We need Neto some width. Well, there's a lot of width for Chelsea today, I'd say. I feel like the biggest problem's coming centrally that we've not been able to try and play through Manchester City. It's not like Palmer and Kunku, Gusto haven't been providing width today. They definitely are. I just think. Wait, have I been muted the whole time? Was I muted? Even Maresca complained about the lack of training in the US. Yeah, look, I think it was evident for all of us to see, to be honest. I think we need to remember as well, we don't know how fit Jackson is because he's not played a lot in pre-season. There's the crowd are getting frustrated already. You can hear it. It's slow. It's boring. This isn't that much different to Poch. And everyone was telling me it's going to be so different. I'm just not seeing it. Just keep going back to the keeper. Our centre backs have probably had the most of the ball, which is exactly what was happening previously. Like Manchester City centre backs aren't hanging on to the ball like this. They're booing. They're whistling. They're booing. What are we doing? This isn't good football, guys. Whether you like it or not, this isn't good football. We're just trying to build up in these wide areas. And to be honest with you, Rico Lewis and Vardiol have got Nkunku and Cole Palmer pinned. They're not struggling at all, right? Look, this is bad, guys. Lavia, that's better. Come on, play through. Try and be positive. Enzo, edge of the box here. Enzo's in Lampard's position. That could be a foul. Rest says no. His touch was horrific, guys. Imagine the Frank Lampard position, edge of the box, right? Gusto, great pass. Oh my gosh, the touch is disgraceful. Left foot, it goes about 5 to 10 yards away from him on the edge of the box. That's not good. And he tries to, he's actually dived there, to be honest with you. That's definitely not a foul. He knows that touch is poor and he starts falling. He's having a shocking game, Enzo Fernandez. I'll be honest. For me, right now, you play Cole Palmer there because we know Cole Palmer can play centrally, and you play Pedro Neto on the right or Madueke because they're going to offer more than having Cole Palmer in Enzo's position right now. Like uh, Enzo's poor, man. That pass is straight at Jackson's chest. Cucurella does really well again, puts him under pressure. I'll tell you what, our pressure high up is really good. It's showing to be something that we're quite good at. Oh, Palmer, win it back. Win it back. Go on. We've won it back here. This is good. This is good. I haven't seen us winning the. Oh, it's just Enzo. Enzo's letting us down, guys. Say what you want. Enzo Fernandez is proved to be an issue here. Guys, what are we saying then? Are we expecting that we get to half? Oh, he's been ripped here. Savio. We'll work out what we're calling him soon. Edge of the box. Kovacic blocked by Kooks. Chelsea looking to counter attack again. Jackson is miles offside. If he's not, that's unbelievable. Flag staying down. Jackson one on one. Work your shot, Jacko. He has. He's absolutely. He's fluffed his lines, boys. If he's onside, the shot is horrific. Bring me Osserman. Bring me Osserman. Gusto trying to work it. Hangs it up to the back post. And Kunku gets it other side of the box. Offside. The flag's gone up. What is the point? Enzo, what's the point? CFC, but yeah, Enzo's not having a good game, guys. Not at all. Jack, what are we doing here? Just blow up. There's a whole phase of play. What are we doing? It's like 30, 40 seconds there. We've got semi-automated offsides. Dan Knight says, hi, how are we doing? Yeah, I agree. We've been awful in possession. Jackson, look, I'm not sure how fit Jackson is. That's what I'm going to say. Jackson still can't beat the offside trap. Jackson is in his own half. What are these officials doing? Pep's giving it to him as well. It's like 40 seconds. We literally saw yesterday for Nottingham Forest, they do the same thing and a guy broke his leg. People have been saying there's going to be a bad injury coming from this delayed offside flag. And look what happened. And I don't know how Jackson's offside there, by the way, because he could have just stood in his own half and turned his man, and he didn't, which is just absolutely ridiculous. 35 minutes on the clock. We're not looking great, guys. It's difficult. It's a hard game. We're well aware of that. It's Manchester City, but yeah, we're not looking great. Savinho's tearing them apart here. He's going one-on-one with Cucurella on the just out towards the corner flag on the left-hand side of Chelsea's defence. Man, this is the thing, right? Manchester City are able to play for us wide and they try and play for us centrally, and it creates such an issue because the defenders have to keep moving and shifting. And Chelsea just aren't doing it nearly as quick. And that's the issue. And this is what we saw under Poch. Are the players not confident enough? Dan Knight says we are so poor. We've given it away again here. Doku! Oh, what a save from Sanchez! I'll give him credit on that one. Oh my gosh! I agree. I genuinely. Hang on. Let me just watch this save. Oh, it does. Oh, it's not as okay. It's way more central than I thought, but it's still a good save. He does well because it gets a deflection and he's kind of shifting the other way. Then he reacts really well. So I'll give him credit on that. It's a good save. Esteban says same old, same old. I have to agree. I really don't see too much difference between this and Pochettino's football last season so far. I really don't. People can say what they want as well, but for me, Conor Gallagher does a better job than what Enzo's doing today. He played that role all last season, didn't do a bad job. Didn't do an amazing job, but didn't do a bad job. They're in again here. Vardio, good block there from Wesley Fofana. Um, Cole Palmer's finding it tough. He is. If you look at where Cole Palmer's having to pick up the ball, it's ridiculous though. We're like we just look ropey. Everyone kept telling me about Maresca and what he was going to get us to do. Enzo Fernandez wins the ball off Bernardo there really well. We look clueless, guys. I don't see a real way that we're looking to play football here. And this is kind of how I felt under Poch. Have we bought a load of players that are uncoachable or something? Because I'm just not seeing it. Come on. Palmer now on the right hand side. De Bruyne and Vardio are making it hard for him this afternoon. There's no doubt about it. He whips it, back post, and Cuckoo's in and knock it back down. There's a goal here. Surely Enzo swung his left foot at it. Goes up for a corner. I don't see Enzo Maresca lasting long at Chelsea. Chelsea Blues says, I'd rather switching Kunku with Jackson, and Kunku is not a winger. Um, Jackson isn't isn't our best winger either. To be honest with you, right now, what I would be doing, I'd take Enzo off. I'd be playing Cole Palmer in the 10, and I'd be putting Pedro Neto on the right or Madueke. And I've said that already, but that's probably what I'd do right now on the basis of what I've seen in pre-season and what I've seen in this match. Enzo Fernandez has been Chelsea's worst player on the ball by some way. And off it, because defensively, look, he did okay there. I think might have realised he's going to have to work harder. Savinio plays through. Oh, their counter attack's lethal. They're going to counter attack this season for fun. They're in here. Bernardo Silva, edge of the box. De Bruyne's taking a heavy hit. Oh, it's another good save. Actually, Sanchez with his feet. De Bruyne staying down here though. Kovacic hanging edge of the box. They're going to pass it out. I think they might knock this out. Although Docker's going to try and beat Casado. De Bruyne's not getting up. Oh, is this another De Bruyne injury for City? I'm not sure. They're going to knock it out now. I think they've got two down, actually. I think I can see someone else down over there. Guys, yeah, look, Dan, if Chelsea needed a sign to go and make it happen for Osimhen, this is it. This is it. You go and make it happen. But I just think we just look like we don't have an idea of what we're supposed to be doing right now. And I think you've got to look at the other teams in Liverpool, Ipswich, Bournemouth. They all look like they got a much clearer idea of what they're supposed to be doing. And people might say that those managers are sort of a similar level to Casado. I'd rather take off Lavia. He's been quiet whole game. Who are we bringing on there? If we take off Lavia, who are we bringing on? Or you think play Enzo in that role? Because I think Lavia's taken more risks than Enzo Fernandez so far this game. Savinio's down here as well, and I think they could have just lost two players here. He has looked exciting. I think he's either got a dead leg or he's in a bad way here. How long would I give Maresca? I said this about Poch. I need to see evidence that if we lost today 2-0, hang on, I just want to watch. Yeah, but defensive is that's so poor there. Colwell's the one at fault here for this goal. Really, Colwell and Fofana are probably at fault there for me. They're not occupying their man. They're not tight to their player. How long will I give him? Well, like I was saying, I need to see evidence. I need to see how we're trying to play. But right now, I'm not seeing it again. why is there no clear pattern? Why are we looking clueless on the ball? Why are we not taking risks trying to play through Manchester City? Are we giving them too much respect? If we're playing every game like this, we're going to struggle because Pochettino struggled when we played every game like this. So it's just not going to work. So if he's making mistakes, correct him. Like I've said, I'll probably judge him once we get to Christmas, I think, but it might happen sooner. Dan Knight says take Jackson off, put Nkunku up front. Nah, I probably wouldn't take Jackson off right now. Not yet. I think he needs game time. He needs sharpness back. I don't think you want to be taking him off just yet. They might all need sharpness. They might all need minutes. So it's probably worth getting them up to speed. If this is what Maresca believes is going to be his starting 11, uh, what I would say is I think I would have had Sterling playing and Nkunku in a 10. Like even that works better for me. I just think it's crazy what they're doing with Sterling there. Um, is that changed? Has that been slashed 9-1 for Maresca to be sacked? Uh, this is where I've actually thought Chelsea have been okay is when we've pressed high up and attempted to win the ball back. We've done it a number of times. We've got to see if we can do it again. Manchester City now having a period of sort of slow possession. Yeah, honestly, Enzo is having a bad time off the ball. Like it's not good, guys. And I just think this system doesn't seem that different. Doesn't seem like we're going to be having a lot of the ball and playing it in the way that I presume we would under Maresca with a clear and obvious system. We're pressing up the pitch. We've won it here. Hang on. Cole Palmer's 1-on-1. He shoots. Rebound. Jackson. Goal, surely. Yes. Come on. Jacko. Offside. It's just moments again, though. Oh, Jackson's off, man. What's your line, Nico? We actually did really well then, but it just oh Jackson. It's not good from Edison. Really poor, actually. Oh, I can't believe he's offside. He's got his whole line in front of him. He just needs to watch it, to be honest with you. Always offside. Yeah, look, he's got to work on it. He's got to work on it. I don't disagree. It's probably where you're looking and you're saying maybe I'll go and bring in a better striker who is well aware of his line. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Yeah. Look, how can he? How can he not understand that he's in front of Akanji there? That must be so obvious. His eyes are level with Akanji's shoulder, and his shoulder's further ahead than Akanji's whole body. How does he not know he's offside? 5 minutes at a time. I don't know if I can do 5 minutes. Don't know if that even works. It does actually. Yeah, look, it is what it is. I was kind of expecting Chelsea to be playing a better way, although we've gone through the middle here. Jackson's dropped deep. He plays a good ball to Nkunku. We're in the box. Just has to take it out. The pass a little bit overhit from Jackson. Come on. Let's start moving this ball with some intent. That's what I want to see. Nothing side to side. It's passing without a purpose, which is what I'm fed up with seeing. We've seen that a lot under Poch. Um, I think Chelsea need him badly, to be honest, Mikel. Dan Knight says if we don't win next weekend against Wolves, I'll see it getting toxic quickly. Look, let's see. We're 1-0 down against Manchester City. There's been moments. It's little things, isn't it? They've just got to be a bit braver. I think for some of it, I find it acceptable. I don't like the fact we keep turning around. I understand there's keeping possession, but we're being a little bit too safe and we're not taking some risks that I'd like to see us take. Let's try and score a goal here. Jackson and Kunku link up nicely, and Kunku going to drive through. Kovacic wins it, and Kunku stayed down. Not what you want to see, is it? And then Jackson goes and fouls De Bruyne. Probably doesn't need to do that. Probably doesn't need to do that. Yeah, he just probably he's just really clumsy from Jackson. I understand bringing him down, but I just think that's a bit clumsy. Guys, look, we've got a few of us in here. Can we all smash the like as well and try and get it up? See if we can get some people in to discuss our issues at half time because this really hasn't been that great, to be honest with you. And I want to see what you guys have to say. Obviously, Chelsea are playing Manchester City. We're coming up to half time. It's been tough. It's been a tough watch for us. So if you're feeling sympathetic and you're feeling for us Chelsea fans, then drop a like. And if you're a Chelsea fan and you need hope and you need some positiveness or you need some realistic views, then smash the like as well because hopefully we can have a good chat at half time about what we've seen. We're in injury time in the first half. There's 5 minutes added on. Manchester City have looked like the more dangerous side in possession. I'd say we're pretty even in possession. I think it's just the area that Chelsea have had it, but we're starting to look a little bit more positive. And the first half's going to end. I think nothing drastically different, but maybe we've tried to pick the ball up in some more central areas and take some risks, like we're doing here. Enzo, he's lost the ball. He's still got it though. Penalty. I think that could be a pen. He said no. It's just a. Is that not Enzo? It's a poor touch, right? He then recovers it. Then Ruben clips his hand, like his hand on his foot, and he goes down. Look, he stepped on his foot there though, which nah, he does foul him. He does bring him down there, but it might have already been. I'm not sure. Also, I think Maresca needs to get Nkunku in a 10, not optimal having on the wing. Look, I don't think Nkunku's having a bad game, guys. I really don't think he is. I actually don't think going forward on the counter attack we've looked awful. I think we look positive on the counter attack. I think it's when we have a chance to have possession, we've not looked great. Todd Bowley's there, nice to see. I'll tell you what, I think he's lost some weight and had a haircut. Um, they're not showing Egg Barley, so maybe he's not there. He looks a lot sharper, Todd Bowley, than when he took over Chelsea before, which is interesting. Enzo is too flat-footed. I just think, for me, with Enzo, he needs the whole game in front of him. I don't think he can play in a team where he's on the turn and he has to press. I just don't think it's to his strengths. And I don't understand why, if Maresca's watched every single game of Chelsea last season, why he is making the mistake that Poch made last season as well. That's what I can't understand. And you know what? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, number 10, if this is an issue, there's room for João Felix in this team. There actually is. Because João Felix on the half turn's an exceptional player. I think I'm seeing room for João Felix in this team right now. And it's where Enzo is. Jackson's turned really well. Please be on side and Kunks. And Kunku is good enough to score from here. He really is. He's got it again in the box. He's going to take on Luke. Oh, he has! Penalty! Cucurella. Cucurella looks all right, boys. I think that's up for debate here. Cucurella looks sharp. Come on, Chelsea. Go at him again. I feel like we're finishing this half better than we started it. I'm going to be honest with you. We're starting to take some risks, which is what I want to see. And Kunku takes his man on there, beats him. And Kunku gets in behind because Jackson turned. Look, it's half time. It's annoying. A few minutes more, I think we got a chance there. And I think that's where we've spoken about. We've spoken, haven't we? That in whatever it's called. Let's go second half. In the second half, I'm expecting to see a little bit more from Chelsea in terms of risk taking. When we get Phoenix, we must get a striker. Nah, it's only Palmer on one wing and Kunku on the other. Look, and Kunku doesn't look that bad on the wing. He really doesn't. He's had a couple of opportunities there. He's making it difficult for Rico Lewis, and that's all I can ask for from a winger. Look, he's not the same type of player as Sterling, but he's not playing as an out and out winger here as well. It's quite obvious he's drifting inside. If you can't see that, then I don't know what else to say. But he's doing okay. And Kunku's doing okay. Probably could have had a goal there, I think. If he'd been a little bit sharper, I think he probably scores. Um, Cole Palmer, the width really is probably coming from Gusto, to be honest with you. Gusto and Palmer, really. Um, and maybe that's an issue, isn't it? And maybe we could agree on that, is that you need a player on potentially that's going to provide width, because Cucurella is not doing it either for Nkunku. And if Nkunku's drifting inside, why don't you just play him as a 10 anyway and let him drift? This is crazy. This is true. If Rodri was in this team, Manchester City would be playing through us with ease. I just feel like our midfield's not got control of this game. I really do. I think there's been issues on the ball in terms of taking risk. I think there's been issues with Chelsea defensively, which were underwhelming, to be honest with you. Which is, I thought it was something we might have fixed up on going into this game. I think Enzo Fernandez, Dan, who's been my most disappointing player of the first half. I think Enzo. I'm really, I'm wondering when we start seeing the Enzo Fernandez that I thought we were going to have. But what I will say is, I think he's being misprofiled again. I don't think he's a 10. I don't think he's an attacking 8. I think he needs the whole game in front of him. And to be honest, if he was playing alongside Lavia, I'd probably live with that. Playing alongside Casado, I'd probably live with that and just see how it works. But has he done enough to warrant being on the pitch right now? No. I think you could put someone in that 10 who would be better. Who's been your most frustrating player? Who's been our best as well? Who's been our best player? Anyone you're impressed with? Do you think the football's good enough? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, whether or not I'd accept that, because it looked a bit clueless to me. And unless they're worried, I want to just see Enzo. Well, that Enzo Fernandez played in a 6 for Argentina. I think Nkunku's looked all right. I think he's looked quite exciting. Also, yeah, right. Sorry, just going through him. Down, I feel Enzo. Maybe he is. I think Nkunku's up there. I think Cucurella's not had a bad game. I think the centre backs, well, look, I expected them to struggle with Haaland there, and they have. It's not been easy for them. He obviously, one moment of quality and him reading and getting in between the lines there. The same with Bernardo Silva allowed them to score. I think Lavia and Casado done enough? Probably not. They've definitely not got on the ball. If you compare to what Kovacic and Bernardo Silva have tried to do, or even Rico Lewis, they've got on the ball and looked to play forwards. What I will say is the last sort of 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes of that half, we did look a little bit more positive. Drop Enzo, move and yeah, I hear that. I hear that Wobo jog. Well, I think Nkunku Central's an option here. I think Cole Palmer Central's an option here. I think Enzo Fernandez either has to go off or go into the 6. But right now, I'd say Lavia and I don't think Casado's had a great game. My worry is that Manchester City on the counter-attack look blisteringly quick, and Enzo Fernandez is getting bypassed very, very easily. It's like watching like Jorginho in the midfield, but maybe even worse. And we're trying to play him as an attacking 8/10. It just looks worrying. I don't think we look like we're familiar with a system at all, because I don't think we've even tried playing like this in pre-season. And what's crazy is we saw this with Poch last year, is we played in all these different ways in pre-season. Then it got round to the first day and it was like, hang on a minute, that's a bit different. What are we doing here? And I feel like that's what we're seeing right now. Would you? I wouldn't expect to see subs. Yeah, look, I agree. He doesn't look sharp, does he? His touches have been woeful. Well, you got to think how much money we paid for this guy. Oh, it's tough, guys. It's really, really tough. Conference League on Thursday. Well, qualifiers. I think they're highlighting the Doku Cucurella battle here. I think Cucurella's done okay. Doku went out to the other side. caused an issue straight away against Casado. Casado is basically covering out right when Gusto goes forward, and then we get hit on the counter attack. Casado goes out to the right hand side as like a right back, and as a double right back when he is there in possession. And that's what happened is he goes out. Just trying to watch it back now. So Casado, De Bruyne's kind of playing in this channel, which is occupying Gusto, right? It's hard for you guys to see, but or not see, describe it to you. It's very difficult if you haven't seen it already. But if you are, then I'll try and explain it. Gusto is occupied probably on the edge of the 18-yard box and in line with the 18-yard line that goes down towards the touch line or the byline, right? Wesley Fofana's looking at Bernardo Silva. I wonder if I can show you. I can't. Wesley Fofana should be picking up Bernardo Silva, should be well aware of where he is. He isn't. Bernardo Silva's already away from him. Levi Colwell is marking Haaland at the moment. Doku, one-on-one with Casado, takes one step in on his right foot. Bang. See you later, Casado. Lavia goes out, leaves a huge gap and a passing lane straight through to Bernardo Silva, who's absolutely wandered away from Wesley Fofana there. Because as soon as Bernardo Silva sees that Doku's one-on-one, there's this massive gap between, it's really hard to show you, but if anyone's got it up, there's a huge gap between Wesley Fofana and Levi Colwell. Massive, massive gap. As soon as Doku sees Casado one-on-one, he knows he can beat him. As soon as Bernardo sees Casado and Doku one-on-one, he knows Doku's coming inside on his right foot. So he goes into that massive gap between our two centre-backs. That occupies Levi Colwell, thinking, I need to get there. Leaves Haaland, doesn't tell Cucurella. Bernardo Silva swiftly knocks the ball past Levi Colwell. Haaland's in one-on-one with a keeper. And that is exactly what's happened on that goal. And it's what I've been saying is it's just not good enough. Like I kind of want to show you, but I can't. It's really frustrating. I'd love to be able to show you this. And if you haven't, the screenshot's there. I don't know if I can screenshot it either. But yeah, look, Bernardo Silva in that gap, knocks the ball past Levi Colwell. Colwell's chasing shadows. Haaland's in here, double touch. And then Sanchez comes flying out, but he just didn't make himself big enough, to be honest. And it was 1-0 City. And it was really annoying because that is so preventable. Wesley Fofana just absolutely... Wesley Fofana's probably at fault for that. It's probably on Fofana. Colwell's reacting to Fofana's mishap. Colwell doesn't do well enough either. Cucurella then reacts to Colwell's mishap. Can't quick enough. Just can't get himself in front. Haaland's not trembling there, Mark. He's not trembling at all. He actually looks incredibly composed. And then as soon as he sees the gap, which is minute in between Sanchez and Cucurella, Sanchez is very narrow. His arms are down by his side. Nothing. His arms are down by his side. For me, as a keeper, I want my keeper coming out massive, big, right? This hand here is blocking that gap. Cucurella's here, yeah? And then there's a hand. And that hand should be up high, big, so it can react. His hand's down at his side. So as soon as Haaland's dinked it through that gap, his hand can't come up quick enough. It's just poor keeping, poor defending. What did we say were our biggest problems? That. And to be honest, that's what I've seen. Fans are burnt at half-time. Yes, they should be. Because they've seen their club get decimated, guys. And they bought all these players, and what are they doing? They're not proven to be good enough. We should be competing again. I'll tell you what, right? Manchester City don't look amazing. And we should be competing, and we're not. But it's only 1-0, and that's what I mean at Manchester City don't look amazing. I feel like we were starting to look a bit better, which is frustrating because you kind of forget that, which is frustrating. It is a bit. But yeah, that's the goal. It's hard to analyze it. I'll try my best. If you guys pause it and stuff, you might be able to see. Anthony Taylor's having a good game for Manchester City as well. Let's see the comments. Daniel, after seeing that Jackson misses, yeah, look, I think that's the sort of thing, isn't it? If you see what Jackson's doing and you see that he's not quite there and he's not quite good enough, and even when he was offside, it wasn't good enough. you go. I think that's why Sterling's not playing, guys. I think they've realised Sterling's got to go, and I think they felt like let's move Sterling on, free up all those wages, and get Osimhen in. If they free up Sterling and Lukaku and Ben Chilwell, there's a lot of money there. Osimhen happens. It does. We need to dominate Manchester City's midfield of Rodri being out. I agree. And I think a more experienced midfield definitely would be capable of doing that. I don't think ours is able to do that. But I think what we do need to say is um, Enzo Fernandez absolutely can't continue to play as this our most forward midfielder. He can't. Yeah, unless they've registered it already. I'm not sure. It probably comes just after the transfer window. I'm not sure. If not now, then next season or January if they can. They probably won't because we've actually not been that bad. I think we've just not really looked like we've had any instruction. I think Manchester City have looked better before. I actually think it really doesn't look that dissimilar to what we saw under Pochettino, which is the frustrating thing for me. I don't see a clear and obvious way of us trying to play. We've had chances, and I think actually, yes, if you had Osimhen and a better number 10, the discussion's there. What I'm saying off the back of this is sign João Felix because there's room for him to get in if Nkunku and Palmer are going to occupy those positions. This is quite funny. I rate that. Expecting sackings per 90. Maybe expected sackings per club would be quite interesting. Because imagine, like Chelsea would probably be on like 2.3%, and it'd be the start of the season. I agree with Nkunku. My point was just to have him in the 10. Neto on the left. Neto versus Rico Lewis would be a good battle, guys. Guys, we've got the most people we've had in all day. Can we smash the likes up to 10? Can we get there? Or maybe even 15? It takes 2 seconds to smash that likes. To smash the like. We're struggling. Chelsea is struggling. They've looked okay, but I think they're struggling for ideas and they're struggling defensively against very, very good players as well. In certain situations. I don't think Cucurella is struggling. I don't think Gusto's struggling. I think defensively, Fofana and Colwell, they're going to need some time to form a partnership. How would you get Felix in terms? I don't know what you mean by that, Dan. Elaborate for me. But Felix could easily be playing in the Enzo Fernandez role right now. Easily. I think Dewsbury Hall showed against Inter Milan he'd struggle in this role. Yeah, against better quality. Maybe in the Conference League, he'll do a good job. Maybe against mid-table Premier League sides, he might be okay. There's room for Cole Palmer and Nkunku to go in there this game, though. There's room for a better quality winger to come on. And I genuinely think there's room for Raheem Sterling as well, which is frustrating because, yeah, I think not having that option of a winger, I mean, it's Mudryk, isn't it? And I just don't think he's offered enough. I know it's early with Neto just for the future. I think, yeah, Neto is early because none of us know, if we're being completely honest, whether he's going to occupy the right-hand side or the left as his main preference, do we? We don't really know that. So that'll be interesting to see. That will be interesting to see. But Foden's coming on. God. You know what that's about? Unless there's an injury here. If there's an injury for Savio, yeah, it is. It's Savinho coming off. He's and you know what I'll say? That unless it's ligaments, which I'm not sure, he definitely that is one getting used to the physicality of the Premier League. Because he's taken a knock on his knee there and he's had to go off, but maybe they just don't want him to get injured because he's looked really good. We're underway. Let's see what happens. First half underway. Chelsea attacking the Matthew Arden. I feel like we're normally better attacking the Matthew Arden. Let's just hope to see us sort of start off and one of the points from Maresca was his plan for Enzo. Well, he said at one point that he didn't see Enzo playing as the highest midfielder going forward, and he's right up there again from the off. This is going to be an issue, guys. I can see it already. They need to address this. Yeah, let's see. I think City will look quite sharp this half. I've got a feeling. They've given it away there though. Vardiol, Enzo's just way off it. Like the other players move so much better than him. Look, they just leave him behind as well. Still big gaps in between Gusto coming out there. Wesley Fofana, there's big gaps in between our centre backs. Big gaps. They've not addressed that at half time because it's happened straight away. One of them has to take charge there and don't let the other one wander off. Yeah, but in the team, so doubt he'll be left out, which he should. Felix in. No, this is where Atletico Madrid are being clever. If Felix is included in their team, it means they see him as. Wait, is that what you mean? Felix is in Atletico Madrid's team. Is that what you mean? Need to check this. Sanchez, mm, we're giving it away here. De Bruyne whips it back post. You know what? We've got away with that. Enzo. Yeah, look, I don't know. If you mean Felix in the team, oh, Sanchez. What has Sanchez seen? He just isn't aware. He did this all last season. Why? What have we? What football did Maresca watch? You know, that was the one thing that Petrovic removed from our team was those sort of moments, and by adding him back in, we've just Sanchez is a waste of money. Yeah, yeah, he is because I think we paid like 30 million for him. We can't. This is. I just don't understand why we're playing like this. I don't understand why we're asking Enzo Fernandez to do the job that we just got rid of Conor Gallagher for, who was probably the best in the team at doing this. Sitting back, mid block, pressing, leading the line of the press. We Conor Gallagher excelled at this last season. Enzo Fernandez is walking. If you want to play in this way, fine, but don't sack Pochettino. They're never going to get to a Champions League final. I can't. Let's see. I mean, I can't see him leaving Enzo out because he presented a plan to the owners for him. He did, but I can't believe that he presented a plan as Enzo as a number 10 or a number 8 because he's just misprofiled him completely. That's why he's given him vice captain. It's a goal here, surely. Jackson and Enzo are just what are they doing? They've literally walked into each other, guys. Honestly, I don't know. I don't understand how that's possible. I expect to see Nkunku or Cole Palmer picking up this role going forward. Honestly, I think as soon as a winger's fit, I just don't see Enzo carrying on in this role. Um, uh, oh yeah, of course. You can't keep hold of Cole Palmer if you don't get Champions League football. We've got to be more confident, and I genuinely think this Manchester City team, we're giving them too much respect right now. I think we should. Enzo Fernandez has looked better every time I've seen him when he's been at a 6, I think. You know, against Aston Villa, that's the game I kind of think back to that he was okay in. I think back to Liverpool, first game of the season last year. He played in that sort of role, didn't play as the highest up player. It just doesn't work for me. There are far better players to occupy that role and link the midfield to the attack. And I don't think Casado and well, Gusto gives it away quite cheaply there. I just don't think Casado and Lavia have done enough. They haven't got on the ball enough and made enough happen, which they have to do this half. Casado tries it there. He's played a good ball. That's better. That is better. I want to see him trying that. Be proactive in trying to make something happen. See, Kovacic gets on the ball as a solo 6 for City. and puts his foot on the ball, works out what the option is. If it's not there, moves it pretty quickly. That's not our two aren't doing that. They're trying to build again. Gvardiol drifting inside. De Bruyne picking up a good space out on the left there. Doku's now one-on-one with Gusto. De Bruyne again, centrally. They're in it. Bernardo Silva lays off to Haaland goal. Good save, Sanchez. Oh my gosh. Good save. Good save. Because we've seen Haaland score that a couple of times. But they've come straight through the middle again. Lavia's just not strong enough with his foot on the interception. No one is on Haaland. He's free. And that's why I thought he'd scored. Because you give Haaland that much time, seasons in the last seasons he scored that opportunity. Who's looking for a right wing and cannot and a full Palmer? I don't think anyone's. Yeah, not right now, but I think going forward, if Chelsea aren't getting Champions League football, Cole Palmer will be definitely getting Champions League football, and I would think it would be for the big boys as well. By the way, I think Real Madrid would come knocking for Cole Palmer if he has another season. You know, if he replicates last season, Chelsea struggle. I think. When do you think? Not next season. I even think the season after that. I think this is going to be a long one. Our defense is woeful. Our defense has got its issues. That's for sure. I actually think one centre back could actually make a big difference. Or you give these two time, hope they stay fit, and they start to learn each other. But for me, they're not showing that they're good enough yet. Big upper man, how you doing, my man? Welcome in. Are you watching the game? Thoughts on the game, guys? What do you think? 7 minutes in now. What are we saying? Are we happy with Chelsea? With Chelsea's start of the second half? Good pressure here. And it's out of play. You know what? I don't mind that. If you have to force Edison to smash the ball up the pitch, it goes out of play. I actually don't mind that. Clear Lake cheerleaders meltdown will be epic this season. Yeah, I hear you because I've been told an awful lot about how Chelsea are going to play under Maresca, and right now, I'm just not seeing any difference. This is boring. It's slow. It's a lack of ideas. The midfield aren't coming to get on the ball. We're smashing it long again under Sanchez. Like, I don't get what we're trying to do here. Although, and Kunku's won that battle because Rico Lewis is time. Cucurella just doesn't quite have the quality there on that cutback. See that you can't deny it. That's where you rather have Chilwell, but then he can't defend as well as Cucurella. So it's just that just shows that we don't have a good enough left back who can do both, which is so frustrating. Because that's the sort of chance that Manchester City probably aren't messing up. I'd back if that's Vardiol, I'd back him to make sure that pass is getting to De Bruyne or whoever's lingering there. What do you think will happen of City charges or changes? If it's the charges, I really don't know. I really don't. I've listened to a lot of financial experts. I just don't know. That's a foul. Yeah. Bernardo Silva just kicked Guerrero in the box there. And they're squaring up. That's a funny fight, isn't it? Cucurella and Bernardo Silva. That's like featherweight, probably even less than that. I don't think anyone did. I'll be completely honest with you. I think people that wanted Pochettino out wanted a manager to come in who was of more of an established manner or someone who was strong enough to sort of say to the players that this is how we're going to play and it has to be in this way. Doku racing Wesley Fofana. That do you know what? That's what I remember Wesley Fofana being about. Is like he don't lose his races, and right then there was a burst of acceleration there. Real burst of acceleration. I hope he doesn't pull up with an injury, but that's what he's about. He is about that. He can play higher up and cope. Like Doku's rapid, and he matched him there quite comfortably. Throwing for Chelsea on the right hand side. Lavia back to Sanchez. Oh, this worries me. He sent the ball flying past Cucurella. Cucurella, poor pass. It goes out of play. what I'm trying to see is the difference between when Edison gets the ball, but it's not happening that often. When Edison gets the ball, and then how Manchester City are trying to play out compared to what Chelsea are doing, and just sort of see where the difference is. I feel like City's possessions were so much more dominant, but we could have them on the counter attack here. Cole Palmer's tried this. I'll tell you what, is that Vardio? He's read that unbelievably well again. Kovacic breaks, moves the ball out to Foden. It's all very nice and quick. Then if they try and recycle round, they don't. Let's see. Because this is Chelsea have done this. They work it out to the left-hand side. Then they progress it a little bit higher. They start trying to come through the middle. Then they can't. They're working it back round. And then they're going to go positive. And then they play it forward, right? And Bernardo Silva's isolated on the right. They still try and go forward. They're trying to play through. They're being braver. Every time Chelsea have got to that position, maybe Cole Palmer twice has looked to try and play forwards. And Nkunku a couple of times, but more on the counter-attack for Nkunku. That's it. Look, they turn on it straight away. And that's the difference. Colwell gets it away. Cucurella gets it away. Manchester City win that on Enzo. They're saying Enzo's diving here. It is because he's gone down so easy. Man, you need two technical areas for your players to warm up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Neto, yes, come on. I agree, by the way. I think they're always used to be, but now they all just go down to one end, which is, I think one should go one end, one should go the other. I don't know if that's the ref's idea, though. I always thought you warmed up behind the lino, actually. I like the rumours with us going for Mark Gehi. I think Gehi would help. Who's coming off? What? That's got to be for fitness. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't see why. I just don't see why. Okay, let's hope it's right. Let's see what he does. Because I don't look. Neto needs to be on the pitch. I don't disagree, but I don't know. And I don't think Nkunku should be coming off unless they're trying to keep him fit. Let's see. He's just picked up the same sort of role. Come on, Lavia. Come on, Lavs. Is Lavia limping? I don't know. Cole Palmer. No one's going out to Cole Palmer here. Can he make something happen? Casado, edge of the box. Smack. Better pass. Or Enzo. It's a great ball. Neto. Oh, that's better. Rico Lewis, unbelievable defending there, but straight away. Casado, great ball. Enzo, great cross. I'll give him credit for that. That's probably his best action of the day. Pedro Neto straight away, lively at the back post. We've not really had an opportunity like that to see how we'd react. We very rarely won the second ball on the edge of the box and had a chance. Here we go. Set piece in action under the set piece coach. We got two corner takers out there, which is a bit of a waste. Enzo hits the first man. It's somehow made it through to Fofana, but nothing's happened. Yeah, that's a poor corner. I think Enzo doesn't have a lot of leg power, you know. I think he really struggles. Gusto, you got to foul him. Doku's going one-on-one here. He plays it. Oh, Lavia's done exceptionally well there because he's read Haaland's run the whole way and kept on the inside of him. Not even worried really about goal side there. He's just kind of made sure that he knew that pass was coming. He was going to put himself in the right position, and he did, and he wins it, which is really good. Neto, I think, is going to give Rico Lewis a battle here, which is interesting. Here we go. Cucurella wins it on the halfway line again. Cole Palmer's kind of dropping deeper to get on the ball here. I hope it is. I hope it is. We do have to manage these players. I think we've been wasted for Pedro Neto out to come on Enzo. Yeah, I just think Enzo's leg power looks like he struggles to connect with the ball to go far enough sometimes. I think he looks like he's struggling with how much to weight his passes every now and then. Like that corner was really weak. Although he's done well here. Oh, That is the most athletic I've ever seen Enzo Fernandez. Jackson's in. Jackson! Oh my gosh. He's just hit it straight at him. What's Jackson done? Injury injury or cramp? That is the most athletic I've ever seen Enzo Fernandez. Ever. Lavia does really well. Oh, Jackson. Either side, I think it's a goal. Come on, we're having chances. Let's try and look at the positives here. Yeah, Wobo, it is a little bit. It is a little bit. It's been a little bit end to end, hasn't it? The last 10 minutes have definitely been a bit more like that. Come on, Chelsea. I feel quite positive here. I feel like we're starting to look like we've got a clear idea of how we're trying to attack. Another cross, and it's just kind of got away from Neto. Edison's clattered him as well, though. I think it's obvious. I think look, if Jackson scores a hat trick, they probably won't. But if he does have a game like he's having, where there's been moments and he hasn't scored as of yet, they might think they go a bit more clinical. Oh yeah, we've been so wasteful. Yes, we have at times. There's a lot of times when we've been sloppy in possession, which is really frustrating because we're going to have to clean up that act going forwards. The thing about City is like they can just make something happen at any moment. De Bruyne is out on his own here. De Bruyne's picking up a lot of the ball on the left hand side as almost like a left winger, and Doku's come out to the left again. Well, no, he's been out here pretty much second half, I think, since Foden came on. Actually, Foden's been quiet, obviously carrying on from the Euros. Does Foden have as good a season as he did? I don't know. Neto, keep it on. Press him, Jackson. No foul. Press. That's better. Oh, Kovacic says, see you later. De Bruyne out to Vards. And see, they just move a lot better. I feel like Chelsea's team's been really static. We've kind of kept very regimented in the shapes that we've been in. We're pretty much playing for the counter attack, it feels like. Maybe it's how we're setting up against City as a one-off, and then going forward, you'll start to see us be a bit more elaborate. Doku's gone one-on-one there with Gusto, worked his cross, and to be honest with you, if he had a better end product, I think Haaland is open there. It just fails. It's a bit of Dharma Traore a little bit with Doku. There's similarities to their game. Foden isn't fit. He doesn't look fit, does he? But it's strange because there are players that have come back from pre-season. They're one-on-one again here, Doku and Gusto. Comes inside. Doesn't beat him, really. Oh, it's a great ball for De Bruyne. Haaland's in here. Levi Colwell, can you do enough? They're going to claim for a foul. Lewis shoots, scores. But I think it's been disallowed. Foul. I hope with time we get less. We will, Mikel. We have to. We have to. And if they don't, then they haven't improved. It's basically that, isn't it? Haaland brings the ball down on his chest. Does he catch Levi Colwell as he clears it? Yeah, straight down his knee. Straight down his knee. They're sore, them ones. Yeah, you don't want to be on the end of them. Definitely a foul. Yeah. It's a bit naughty that from Haaland. Anywhere else on the pitch, there's big questions asked. I'll tell you what, though, if I don't know whether Sanchez has stopped there, but his attempt at saving Rico Lewis's shot was pretty woeful. They've actually booked Haaland here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's a bit naughty. He's not trying to win the ball there. He's definitely just trying to catch Colwell. What change have we got? Mark Gui, Dewsbury Hall, Jackson and Lavia are over there chatting. Jackson's coming off 15, yeah, and I think Lavia coming off or Cole Palmer. No, Casado, Casado or Lavia? Who do we think? Lavia. Okay, maybe Enzo sits. Maybe Enzo sits. Lavia's another one. It must be for maintenance because he got better as the game went on. Lavia, he got better as the game went on. I can see why people told me that he would have been an option last year. Like I can see why. I think there's a player in him. I really do. I've been impressed with him actually, um, with preseason and that. So let's see. Yeah, Enzo's dropped. It looks like Enzo's dropped. Dewsbury Hall's going to go into that 10, which yeah, he didn't have the best game against Inter Milan. Todd is not happy. I didn't see. Did they put the camera on him? You know he's not happy. He just looks or does he just look grumpy? I didn't see it if the camera went on him. Fafana, yeah, Enzo needed to drop. I think we've all seen that. I think I'll be honest. I think Maresca has taken 67 minutes too long to drop him back, which worries me because this is the sort of thing that I don't want to see from a manager. They've got to be quicker to recognise their mistakes. Maybe he's learnt now. Enzo needs to go and have a good game in this role, and just sort of start making stuff happen now with a game in front of him. Mark Gees looked okay. I'm worried about where our goal is coming from because Neto's not a goal scorer on evidence. Mark Gui hasn't scored many goals. Dewsbury Hall's got championship goals, but Cole Palmer is our main outlet here. We've taken off our goals and Kunku scores goals. They've taken him off. I don't see where Chelsea's goal is coming from right now, apart from Cole Palmer. You saw a picture on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. Mark Gui, good for a goal, hopefully. I mean, he gets himself in opportunities. Dewsbury Hall, look at him. The one thing I'll say here is look at him moving now off the ball. Way better than Enzo already. Way better. Way better. You can just see he's just Enzo. Everyone bypasses him in that role. This is where you play Dewsbury Hall and you hope that okay, he's not as good as Conor Gallagher off the ball, but what he offers on it, if he wins it, has to be better. Yeah, go win that. Go win that, Casado. Come on, Cole, get out here. Someone's got to go. Nice. Win this. Well in, Gusto. Good press, Chels. Oh, Cole Palmer. No, I don't think that's a foul. Really? Wesley, really positive there, to be fair. Dan, what consensus among the fan base on where Enzo should be, higher or deeper this season? Absolutely not high. If anyone's telling you Enzo should be playing higher, they're off their rocker, mate. The best performances he's ever had are in an Argentina shirt and a Benfica shirt, and none of them came in an advanced role. They came as a six and where he could see the whole game. He's not quick enough. And if you play him as a six or someone that's sitting deep, whatever you want to call it, so he can get on the ball and see the game in front of him, he does need a player next to him who offers him legs. Yeah, I think this. I presume Egbali's not there. Presume Egbali's not there then. Where's this as well? Also, although they're saying he's the owner in charge, that's what we're being told. We don't know if that's the exact situation. We do know that Todd Bowley is currently the Chelsea chairman, though, I think. I'm not sure if they're co-chairman or not. I think he's chairman. So maybe he has to show face. Come on, Neto. I think we've killed our goal threat. This is what I mean. Imagine you had Osimhen play the whole game, and then you could bring on Jackson. You'd feel okay, wouldn't you, if you had 60 minutes out of Osimhen and half an hour out of Jackson? Bringing on Mark Good just isn't enough. Cucurella with the whip, though. Oh, he spilt it. Come on, Gusto. Somehow, Doku without. Oh, then he beats him with it. Oh, wow, we've done well. Come on, Jubes. Enzo. Enzo. Guys, I think we're going to find out that Enzo's not good enough this season. Neto, it's a poor cross. It's too heavy. Yeah, we've look, we've taken off our goal threat. They're not bothered about Mark Gu now. They're just not. He's not gonna intimidate them. It's not gonna worry them. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. But obviously they're not fit enough. Otherwise, I don't think he'd take him off because even Maresca must know that what he offers isn't enough. But look, Jackson probably plays again 60 minutes during the week. So get him the minutes. It's our squad right now, isn't it? Um, I wouldn't be surprised. No, I would now actually. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if we saw um Cole Palmer get shifted centrally, but I don't think we'll see it. I actually think we might just see Cole Palmer taken off now, which seems a bit mad to even suggest that. But I've got a feeling if he makes any more subs that it'll be him or Casado or Enzo, maybe. Don't know who comes on for it. Enzo. Maybe they drop Dewsbury Hall deeper. I don't know. Manchester City working the ball really well. De Bruyne edge of the box, shoots. That's his rangefinder. My issue is our best midfield is about. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. On the evidence that we've seen, Enzo Fernandez shouldn't be getting anywhere near the starting 11, should he? He's not been good enough in anywhere he's played over the last couple of years. And if they're trying to move on Sterling, then surely they're looking at Enzo Fernandez, who arguably has done worse than Raheem Sterling. Why are we taking Kuku off? Well, I kind of think it's to do with injury, Dan. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I think it's just injury prevention, isn't there? In Rico Lewis, great run. Good block, Wesley. He's read that well. He's read the danger well there. He has. Look at the defense, though. It's all over the place. But he sees Rico's run, matches it. The one thing he does there is leave Haaland open, but he backed himself to beat Lewis in terms of a race and in terms of going to ground to stop the pass, and it worked. If Rico Lewis gets the ball past Fafana there, though, it's literally an open goal pretty much for Haaland. I mean, he's not going to. Sanchez don't really count, does he? Enzo and Haaland, oh, don't even try it, Enzo. He'll eat you, man. Goal kick, Chelsea. Okay, 20 minutes to go. They're still going at each other, Enzo. And see, I don't mind that from Enzo because I do like a player rattling players, and it definitely works. I don't know if Enzo's a leader though, and that worries me a bit. Look, 20 minutes to go because I think there'll probably be about 3-4 minutes added on at least. I I don't know where Chelsea's goal is coming from. I don't see us drastically changing in the way that we've been playing. I don't see if we're finding options anywhere, but we are against the probable champions, so it's difficult to find those areas. I feel like there's just been a lot of. I actually feel like there's a couple of times we've just lumped the ball forward for no reason, and I just didn't expect to see that under him at all. But this is where he earns his money: is tactical changes in the game, how we set up our system, and then going forwards, taking what's happened in the game, building and learning from it. And that's what Poch really struggled with. So this is where we have to see Maresca next game show a difference. But I do think the goal threat's gone. I think if a goal happens now, it comes out of like a fluke opportunity, a bit like like the Ogachukwu goal, a bit like that against Inter Milan. Rico Lewis is a good little player, isn't he? And I say little, he's absolutely tiny, and he doesn't really make it a problem for him. Wesley Fofana. Yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing Wes looking like he's trusting himself a little bit there. He's backing himself. That's the Fafana I saw at Leicester. So let's hope that keeps coming. Enzo, first ball he's hit, really, that's got where it needed to go with the right amount of power. We're in here. Gusto, Cole Palmer linking up. It's hit Diaz's arms. They're behind his back. Now, for me, hands behind your back is not natural. That's not natural. Hands down by your side is natural. Behind your back, I don't think that's natural. And then they're saying there as well, Kovacic. I don't know. Who would you give captain? Oh, Reece James, but he's just not fit. Well, Reece James is the captain at the end of the day. He's Enzo's not the captain, he's vice. Why we need Osman to yeah, we do. We do. Osman will occupy defenders. He'll scare them. He'll force them back. He'll occupy them like Haaland does for ours. They're always thinking about what's Haaland going to do. Well, a good one would be. I'm not sure that R2 are doing that. Come on, Chelsea. This is where you need to try and make something happen. You've got an opportunity here. Deliver the ball well, Neto, potentially. Go on, Dewsbury Hall. Come on. I just think we've taken too long there. What are we doing? I think we've taken too long. We're letting them set. Every time we shift the ball round, the idea is to move the defence. I think we're letting them. We're so slow. Neto, right footed cross, slash shot, maybe. I don't really know what that was. This is where our press is good, though, I have to admit. In these areas, we're pressing really well. I don't think I've seen us win the ball back this high up, this well, this many times since Tuchel when he first came in. Sado, man. That's really poor because it just let down that whole attack. I did say, guys, I did say um, that I think Chelsea would struggle to score, didn't I? I did say that, and it's looking that way. It's looking that way. Yeah, not seeing and if we fail to score, then you've got to go and put the money where it is and where their mouth is, because they said we're trying to build a team to win the Premier League of 100 points, and you're not going to do that with Jackson up front. 1-0 isn't bad. I think this is where we're lucky, right, that we're playing Manchester City now because they don't look. Oh no, really? He's got cramp, hasn't he? Um, I don't mind Renato Vega coming on, by the way. He's looked all right. He's been trying to save money. Yeah, I think we are, but sometimes I feel like doesn't it's just not. It's just you'd rather have him in your team and try and win this game. Do you know what I mean? If they could have got Osimhen tied up this summer earlier than this, 1-0 isn't bad. 1-0 is not bad against Manchester City. 1-0 against this Manchester City. I think there's been opportunities there for Chelsea to score. Dale, we've not looked good, have we, mate? We haven't looked great. The issue is we're trying to push it to the last day. Dan, what do we have to do for a pen? Yeah, like I said, not have Anthony Taylor in. I think Kukureya's had a good game, actually. I think Kukureya, considering what he was up against in the first half, really coped. Really did cope. I just think we've looked really like clueless and idealist at too many times in this game. You know, we had a good spell, then we sort of change up how we were trying to work our opportunity, and we're lacking ideas again. Every time Manchester City go forward, I feel like they are aware of what they're trying to do. They should. I think the fans should boo because I think this Manchester City side will look far better this season than today. Will look far better. and Chelsea haven't done enough. I genuinely, I think Pochettino might have got a win today. I think he might have got a win because don't forget, we scored 4 goals against Manchester City last season in this fixture, and now we haven't. So I think there's an issue. I do, and off the back of today's evidence, just today, Cole Palmer don't get as many goals. Now, I back him to prove me wrong, but off the back of today's evidence in this system, I don't think he's getting as many goals. Just don't think he is. I've been really confused with what I've seen today. This isn't the football I expected us to play today. It just isn't. Even what I saw Maresca getting us to play like pre-season, even how I saw Maresca's Leicester, this just isn't what I expected today at all. Foden, Levi, good. Well done, Levi. Nice and composed. Nice to see you not putting your foot through it for once, and it just goes out of play. What you can see again with a couple of these players that they just need to click. They're not played together much. Dewsbury Hall and Neto, you can see they're not played together. Maresca won't last. We need a 9. If we continue to play like this, I don't think he'll last. No, because they'll go. This isn't the type of football we were promised under you. I hope ownership watching. Yeah, look, I don't be surprised, guys, if you see Jao Felix and Osimhen arrive. But they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to go. Look, we're getting rid of Sterling. We're getting rid of Chilwell. The wages are there to pay Osimhen closer to what he wants with a good bonus structure. Let's do it. We've got to. By the way, can I just say that atmosphere? It sounded flat as anything from Chelsea. I know there's nothing really to get behind, but sounds flat. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Why are we taking this risk now? Like, it's not even going to reward us. Fafana plays a woeful ball into the middle of the park. Kovacic showing his quality, showing he's the best midfielder. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Kovacic! Quite clearly showing he's the best midfielder on that in the midfield right now compared to what Chelsea have had in the past, apart from De Bruyne. Actually, that didn't really come out exactly how I wanted it to. But basically, what I was saying is we haven't upgraded on Kovacic since he left, and he just proved it. He stepped past his man, and then it opens up, and we all know what Kovacic is like in front of goal. He's not good enough. And then that is an unbelievable strike. Fafana, awful. What is that pass? Sanchez messing about as well with Gusto. Kovacic, unreal. And then Levi Colwell turns his body side on. And Sanchez, what is Sanchez doing? I said 2-0. That was my prediction. And we're going to see it. I'll tell you what, Sanchez, mate, that is awful. That is awful. Oh my gosh, mate. How is he in this team? That opportunity has come from him at the same time. Look, it's just crap, isn't it? You know you're not a good keeper if Kovacic is scoring against you because it's actually not as unreal as I thought it was. It's just disappeared through Sanchez's hand pretty much. I think the fan base will gaslight to believe in what they saw was City light. If it is City light, yeah, like we should be doing well. We should be doing better than what we are. If it was City good, it's the gaslighting for me would be if people start telling you this is the proper Manchester City side. Just wait. Look, Topodi's going early, mate. What are you doing? This is your fault. You need to sit there and put yourself through it because the fans are. I hate that. He should be sat there till full time. What's he doing? That was I said, didn't I say, what is the point in taking this risk here? Because it isn't going to pay off or reward us with a goal. They took that risk. It didn't lead to anything. It was absolutely stupid. Fafana smashes the ball to no one. Kovacic wins it, beats his man, steps through. No one's getting closer. It opens up. He tries his effort, gets it on top. Rarity is Kovacic. And then Sanchez ain't good enough to do anything about it. And Levi Colwell turned his body on the half turn, only running away. I hear that. He should be there for the booze. He's gone inside. That was a basic save. It had to be. It had to be. Look, Todd ain't happy, but neither are the Chelsea fans. He's got to sit there and take it. This is worse. I saw Graham Potter play much better football, by the way. Much better football at times than what I've seen today. And I'll give Potter credit. I saw Potter implement it way faster. As soon as Potter came in, you could see what he was trying to do. I can't see what Enzo's trying to do yet. I'm not going to lie. Sanchez a pony. Why is he going? Yeah, look, no, I actually don't think we have that many better than him, unfortunately. Kepa and Kepa's probably the best keeper at Chelsea right now, and he's on his way out, isn't he? Kepa's on his way out. So Petrovic, but then they say Petrovic isn't good enough with his feet, and they're trying to offload him. I just think we're seeing similar. This is good football. That's the first time I've seen us attempt to play football in a way that I expected to see. Here we go. Doku. Gusto recovers well. Can he win it? Doku's still got it. He's been strong there. Fair enough. We've got back well there. We've got back in good numbers. And then City are not going to try and be wasteful. They're going to keep it. Opta reporting 0.3. Look, it's not good. It's not good. Did you see what we just tried to do? You see when Neto and I think it might be Mark Gee and Dewsbury Hall linked up and they tried to play it really quick on the edge of the box. That is what I expected to see under Maresca. And I haven't seen it until the 88th minute, 87th minute. Now we're so slow for the second ball wins. Well, yes and no, because I think maybe, but sometimes our press has been quite good and we've won a couple. I think defensively, closer to our defenders and defensive midfielders, that's where we've been poor winning the second ball. But going forward, I think we've done all right on the second ball. Do you see us getting top four? Not off of this evidence, Chelsea don't get top four. They don't. They just don't. No one wanted Maresca. Anyone that tells you I wanted Maresca is a liar, guys, honestly, because no one really knew who he was. Let's be real. No one wants a manager at Chelsea. They don't know who they are. Come on. Casado book, sorry. Oh, it's tough. It's a hard watch. It's a real tough watch today. We've just been outclassed. And we all know that this isn't a Manchester City. Doku's done unreal. Doku did unreal. 3 touches beat 3 players there. Dewsbury Hall fouled. See, that's the thing that City have been so good at as well, because, well, you can say you blame our attackers to score and we've missed, but you have to look at the defence and the goalkeeper there because they've not been good enough and we've conceded 2 goals. Actually, if the defence had been good enough, we'd be 0-0 right now. Small glimpses. I probably expected more than small glimpses after like 6 games. I expected an idea. Look at Arne Slot. He had Liverpool playing slot ball quick. Liverpool looked quite good yesterday, I felt as well. I think they're going to do better than I thought. 5 minutes at a time. So 10 minutes added on today as well. We do, but hard to say that we don't. Well, apparently they already have, Dale, to be honest. Apparently they already have. Look, it's frustrating, guys. It really is. I think we've not been good enough. Defensively, we've made mistakes and we've paid for them, which is what I expected to happen. So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. I actually think Rico Lewis is a good player. I think he is. Have they given Bernardo Silva man of the match, have they? That's the thing as well, by the way. This Manchester City side doesn't have Rodri, and we've struggled as well. Um, our attackers have been scared to take risks today. I don't disagree. I wouldn't be surprised if the fans boo. But yeah, in all seriousness, I do. Um, I do think we've not taken risks and we've not played in the way I expected us to today. I feel like we've been way more similar to Pochettino. Fafana looks okay. I don't think he looks great, but I think there's moments that I saw when he made some good recovery runs and he made a couple of good blocks that I've been waiting to see from Wesley Fofana at Chelsea, but I think he's been worried about his injuries. Cole Palmer, he's not quite sharp, is he? I think we can all see that. Um, but Fofana on the ball for that pass, it's not good enough, is it? You don't just smash the ball into that area of the pitch. I'd rather Fofana have smashed it into the stands than put it into that area. And I agree. If that's what you're saying, that's where he probably does look rusty or inexperienced. Can't honestly, no, no. Lavia, Wharton, Casado isn't balanced for me because it just feels the same. Then if you're gonna play Lavia and Casado, you need to go and find a number 10 or a number 8 that can play in that advanced role that Enzo was in. And right now, I mean, they're getting rid of one in Conor Gallagher who can play slightly further ahead. So there's room in the team now. Dewsbury Hall doesn't look like he can play that role very well at the moment. So there's room in the team to go and recruit and put someone in that area. And if it's a 10, I think it's going to be, I genuinely think it's going to be Jao Felix. I really do. Um, Doku, man, it's non-stop. I see Enzo Maresca failed at Chelsea. Look, it's going to be an interesting one, Dan. I don't know if he'll be the first manager sacked, but you can't carry on like this. It's not a good start. It's not a good start, and it's exactly what I predicted in terms of the scoreline. It's just not what I predicted in terms of the football. I just thought we'd fail to score because I didn't think we looked like scoring a lot in pre-season. I didn't think we looked like scoring a lot against Inter Milan, and Manchester City are a better team than Inter Milan, and they've made it even. I don't think they've made it that difficult for us. They made it tough, but our own players have made it difficult for ourselves in some moments too. And the manager's made it difficult for us if this is how he set the team up, because you cannot deny that Pochettino had a way clearer game plan against Manchester City, both fixtures. We scored five goals against Manchester City last season. Mikhail says, I think the sporting director, yeah, look, the sporting directors, if the sporting directors make a mistake with a manager, then all three need to go, in my opinion. The sporting directors, if this manager's going to be sacked, the sporting directors and the manager need to go. And then if you bring in a new manager and new sport directors, and then there's still an issue with the players need to go too. Enzo? Oh my God, we've slated him all game. He's nearly scored a worldie. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's what I want to see more from Enzo. I think, yeah, it's not actually a great effort, is it? It's just straight at the keeps. Not tough. Enzo's made that look way harder. Who do you think will win first? Who will win the sack race? Ooh, I don't think it's Maresca. I don't. I don't think Maresca will be first manager sacked. Just trying to think. Oh, guys, it's woeful. Chelsea's have. Guys, I didn't hear booze. I don't know if anyone else did. The commentator kind of came over the top. I, I want to hear Maresca's interview, guys. I do want to hear that. Who do you think will win first manager of the season sack race? I genuinely don't know. Let's stop the clock. 2-0. Sorry, I didn't even put that on. That Kovacic goal. Yeah, I don't know. really maybe Southampton's manager, Russell Martin. Is that his name, Russell Martin? Maybe. I don't think it will be Chelsea. I don't think they'll sack him that unless we're losing like every game. I don't think they'll sack him first. But it's not a good start. It's exactly what I said. I'm actually going to message Dan Potts right now because he's got the receipt of me calling it. One sec. I'm gonna message. Where is he? We've got to message Dan Potts right. Uh, 2 secs, guys. 2 secs, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Go on. Let's see. Palmer will suffer massively under Enzo. Yeah. Look. I think off of today's evidence, there is a possibility of that. Which is a bit of a shame, but there is a bit of a possibility of that. Oh no. How'd you get it to say 90? Ah, there you go. Ah, tough game, guys. Tough games. Disappointed. Look, Clueless terrible. Says Dan. My money on Ten Hag's a good shout. Actually, I don't think United look great, but they look better than Chelsea. Tuchel back in January. Not a chance. Not a chance. I think the sporting directors. There's going to be questions asked if it continues to be like that. But I backed Maresca to start making things happen after that. He's not. Any manager isn't going to be happy with that. The problem that we saw last season is that Pochettino wasn't happy with that. And then we didn't really see the changes for so long. Kept trying to play the same way, asking players to do jobs they're not good at. If we see Enzo Fernandez go into that number 10 role again, we know that Maresca has not learned from that. I well, look, otherwise they have to make the directors look bad. If they're not doing their job, because they don't look, let's be real, guys. Let's be real. They don't look good, do they? They don't look good at the moment. It's not like they look good. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Not good, not good, not good. Dan Potts messaged me saying Chelsea not good. Yeah, not good, guys. I'm just doing some post-match admin because all of a sudden I'm getting loads of messages about the football. Yeah, look, it's not good enough. We didn't play horrible. Look, I don't think we were great. I don't think we were great. I'm just not happy with the fact Fofana switched off twice, which cost us. I can blame Fofana for both goals. I can blame Fofana and Sanchez for both goals, definitely. I can blame the manager for both goals because we saw those issues against Inter Milan and in pre-season, and they've not been addressed. Our owners have ruined us. They're doing a very good job. They are. Um, Another game worse against Manchester City rather than getting better. So we're moving further away from the champions. As Leicester fan, it was a very similar vibes. Maresca would rather score the perfect goal. Mate, I'm going to be completely honest with you, yeah? We didn't even try and score the perfect goal today. Like, that wasn't the football I was expecting from Maresca. We didn't try and, last year, like, sometimes Leicester they'd overplay and they'd try and force a goal. From what I've seen and what I've been told, like force the perfect goal. We didn't try that today. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see any of the style of football until the 88th minute that I saw from Maresca's team in Leicester. Just didn't see it. We didn't try and score the perfect goal today. We were like lumping the ball, crossing the ball. That's not what I was expecting at all. And I don't know if they just didn't try it because it was against Manchester City and had a different game plan, but I didn't see Maresca's perfect style of football today. I genuinely didn't see a better performance than what I saw from Pochettino, like what on average to what we were seeing last season. I felt like there was no difference really. We probably looked worse. There were chances, and actually, yeah, a player with better quality might make a difference. And we had a good spell just before the end of the first half, but I feel like it never really got going again. People saying we didn't play badly. I don't think we were great, and that ain't the best Manchester City side you're going to see all season. That had no Rodri, but yeah, there's issues with our defence for Fana and Colwell. There's issues with the goalkeeper Sanchez, and that's our biggest weakness. Because actually, if they'd done their jobs today, I think that's a 0-0. Because I don't think Haaland or De Bruyne worked anything magical. I don't think Bernardo Silva worked anything magical. I think if our midfield was more dominant, Kovacic doesn't have that opportunity anyway. So, yeah, look, there is first half, we pushed City back and caused them problems. Second half was horrible. At times, but they pushed Chelsea back as well in the first half. Don't forget that. They definitely did. How many times was Doku taken on a man? Look at the goal that they scored. They pushed Chelsea back all right. I think, for me, as soon as I saw Nkunku come off, I felt like the goal threat disappeared from Chelsea as a whole. Nkunku and Jackson, I just felt like that goal. And I don't know where the goal comes from. As soon as that switch happened, and it never came. And if Maresca was making those changes, it must have been to score a goal. Why else is he making the changes? Because he didn't prevent us scoring another goal. They weren't defensive changes if you look at it. Because if you're going defensive, you don't put Enzo Fernandez in the midfield as a six. You put him there to be a progressive six rather than a defensive one. So I just didn't see enough today across the park to suggest that there's improvement coming either. It'll be the next game against Servette and against who we got next in the league. Let's just check quick because I'm getting confused with the fixtures this early on. I need to see him in front of me. Let's see. Wolves. So we have Wolves and then Servette either side of that. So we're sat in the relegation. No, we're just 1 point out of the relegation zone. But someone plays tomorrow, I think, with 0 points. So honestly, shocking day for Chelsea all round because it's not a good performance. The management of another player is disgusting. It's just a mess. Yeah, look, we don't look good. We don't look good. Rodri was the only player missing. I don't. Come on, man. Gerald. That is a Manchester City side. That is nowhere near it. We said before you came in, Gerald, do not be surprised that fans will try and gaslight us into thinking that that is the strongest Manchester City side. It's miles off it. Just wait. They're not even ready. Foden don't look sharp. He was their best player last season. Haaland doesn't look unbelievable. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't look unreal yet. Just wait. Honestly, they're going to be absolutely flying in a month or two's time. And Rodri will be making things happen if he's back fit. Trust me. Manchester City, it's nowhere near their best today. Wasn't a bad performance. What, you think that's a good performance? Guys, how can anyone sit here and tell me that's not a bad performance? That's a bad performance, guys. We haven't created enough. We've played horrible football. That's not good football. We've not tried to be intentive with what we were doing on the ball. We created a couple of chances that were more luck by judgment, to be completely honest with you. Defensively, shocking. Goalkeeper-wise, shocking. That's not good performance. I'm not saying, all right, you're not saying it's a good performance, but that's not a bang average performance either. That's poor. We've not looked good enough, defensively or offensively. We failed to score and let in two. That's a bad performance. Let's not be wishy-washy here. We're not talking about West Ham losing 2-0 or talking about Wolves losing 2-0 to Manchester City. We're talking about Chelsea. We didn't lose to Manchester City in the Premier League last season. It's not a good performance. It's a step backwards. Come on. We'll drop this stupid mentality. It's woeful. All right, there were positives that we can try and find in that, but there's not many. That's not a good performance. I can say the same for our players. They didn't look sharp as well. They don't look sharp. I completely agree with you on that, but absolutely don't understand how Maresca's sort of changed up his system there. That's different from what we were seeing in pre-season. I don't. That's what Poch did. Poch he showed us what he was going to do in pre-season, and he changed his mind. And Enzo's, well, look, maybe it's, I'm not going to start sitting here and be like, Enzo out, by the way. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that's not a performance that we can sit here and be like, oh, that wasn't a bad performance. We've lost 2-0 against Manchester City. We've had 3 on target, 10 shots. We've had an expected goals of 1, and we ain't scored. City had expected goals 0.8, showing where they're nowhere near as good as they're going to be. And they scored 2. So that says defensively, we were letting them score from positions they should not have scored from. We weren't good enough, guys. We weren't good enough. That's not a good enough performance. You can dress it up with stats wherever you want, but we weren't good enough today. Absolutely not. And I'll tell you right now, Pochettino was giving us more chances and more opportunities. And I did not want Poch at this club. I did not want Poch. We had to go a level above. We had to go a level above Pochettino. And right now, we're showing 0 signs of improvement. Sanchez is awful. Colwell, this is Dan Potts, by the way. Dan Potts, Sanchez shit. Colwell overhyped. Casado and Enzo, what the fuck? This is Enzo. This Enzo is shocking. Jackson shocking, but nothing new there. Your team's not good enough. Tell me he's wrong, because he's not. Everyone that we saw today, the only one he's not mentioned there for me is Fofana on the ball. Probably not good enough as well. I can't disagree with anything he said there on the back of that performance. So I think we've seen, guys, what I think we can all agree on, yeah, and I guarantee we can all agree on this. Jackson isn't good enough to lead the line for Chelsea. I look back at the moments. I look back at the moments of Jackson's game. He gets the opportunity against Edison. He connects with it. All right, difficult to connect with it and direct that ball, but he didn't direct it at all. He just made sure he got contact. He had that moment where he was offside and he looked across the line and was literally miles offside. And he did it on the other opportunity when he was on the halfway line. He fouled when he tried to take on a man. He's not had a great game. And that for me is enough for the owners to go out and just go and make Osimhen happen. And if Osimhen can turn around and say, how much do you pay Jackson? You're going to give him a pay rise, are you? How much are you going to pay him? And they'll say, oh, 110, 120. He'll go, what? And I'm not worth 200? Come on. Oh, Jackson's performance there, the fact they're giving him a pay rise, absolutely warrants Osimhen asking for more money, doesn't it? Osimhen can't go, you can't pay me what you're paying him because I'm far better than him. So they've actually stitched themselves up there by letting Jackson play today in that Osimhen contract negotiation. Mark Gui didn't look like offering anything, did he? Let's be real. He looked better in pre-season than he looked at all today, but he's playing Manchester City. We're not good enough going forwards. And I think we can probably all agree it's before taxes. I'm not sure that it will be. I'll be very shocked if it's before taxes. Very, very shocked. There's no way Osimhen's coming in on a 400 grand a week salary or something. That's just not happening. He's not. Oh, Haaland's speaking. One sec. Facts. Just watching their goal back. If anyone's watching, try and remember what I said at half time. Look at that gap between our defence, mate. That's a joke between the centre backs. It is. Fabrizio said 11 million euro net. Oh my gosh, you're winding me up. That's a lot, man. I don't see him paying that, to be fair. I think that's what he's on right now, though, isn't it? I think that's what he's on right now as like an apology for what happened at Napoli this season. But Osimhen has to be on loan. Nah, Osimhen's not coming on loan, guys. He's not. And you know what? Just back your striker. Don't bring him in on loan. Just say you're good enough to make something happen. Just don't give him the number 9. So you think they're going to pay? No, not a chance. This happens, by the way. Not a chance. They don't pay him that. They don't pay him that. I think he wants 15 million and then he'll take home what he gets from 15 million, 12 million. I can't see him. No way. No way. He wants 1 million a month before tax. That's what I think he wants. Well, probably wants more. Who wouldn't? But come on. Guys, can we get up to 20 likes? Can we smash the likes? It's a poor performance from Chelsea today, in my opinion. Mainly because I was expecting us to play in a completely different way, and we didn't. And I got fed up with us playing like that last season under Pochettino, and I don't want to see another season of it. So for me, it's not good enough. Let's talk about this. Neil Gunner 93 says Enzo has to play as a six or not at all. He's so similar to Jorginho. I completely agree. Completely agree. He's not good enough. I struggle to see what he offered today as a number 10. And I think that's a real issue. We back Lukaku with all that media pressure going for 100 million. No matter how much we back a player, we can't predict the future. You're right about not predicting the future, but I think we could have done a better job with Lukaku. I think in hindsight, which is obviously a very powerful tool, he didn't really fit what Tuchel was ever asking from his strikers, did he? And I think that was the real issue between them two. Um, they are. They are, they are, they are. Of course they are. This is what this board is trying to do all over the place. Creative transfer fees, creative transfer wages. That's what they're trying to do. Let me see. Guys, you know what I'm going to do? Let's see. Okay, so issue is the look of, yeah, I don't disagree. Guys, I'm going to open up the lines. And if people want to come in and people want to have their say on today's game, you're more than welcome to come in. Obviously, want to have a sensible chat. I want to talk about it. If people want to, the link is in the chat. I will do my best to get guys on and have a chat, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to open up the lines. I think that link should work. Let me know if it doesn't. If you want to come in and have a say, join the room. Lines are open. I'm going to put that in the title as well. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if that link's going to work. I'm trying to see it, but let me know. The link is there, though, if people want to come in and have their say. Well, look, Chelsea weren't good enough, in my opinion. I don't think Maresca has shown enough for me in his first game. They've admitted they're willing to break the wage structure for a player like him. I don't disagree. I do not disagree as well. I think that's the type of thing they have to be doing, to be honest with you. They have to do that. Guys, that's the link. If anyone wants to copy that, whack that in, join the room, have your say. I'm more than happy to discuss this performance with everyone. Obviously, if you can't join and you're on your way home for the game or you're busy, then stay in the chat and obviously we'll get the comments up on the screen. Mikel says, well, they could do with a loan with obligation. Look, I just don't see. Maybe that works. I'm just not sure. Everyone said the same thing for Lukaku. Chelsea need him. If they get him, they win the league. Look, that was a different time, man. We were third. We were Champions League winners. We were close to making up the gap, and we did need Lukaku. And I feel like Tuchel and Lukaku butted heads, and it didn't work because Lukaku, the way he started, we were going to win the league. We were going to win the league, man. We looked so good, and then it just an absolute catastrophe, absolute catastrophe. So yeah, look, a weird one with Osimhen. I hear what you're saying, and it's difficult to be confident about backing a striker again. But I can't deal with Jackson going forwards. We should buy a striker and Phoenix and Osimhen. Not Phoenix and Osimhen. Guys, that's the phone-in link. The call-in link's there. If you want to come in and have your say, feel free to. I'm here ready to take calls if you want to. If not, make sure you have your say in the comments. If you are going to be coming in, though, you need to make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. Hey, Dan, let's be honest. The result is expected. I want to get this one up. The result, same old Chelsea. It's going to be a long season. Don't let the club ruin your weekend. Life does go. Look, life goes on, guys, and we got a game on Thursday. So I'm not going to let it ruin my weekend. I've kind of got past that, to be honest with you. I used to a lot, but that was when Chelsea didn't lose many games or Didn't really have that many bad performances. Right now, my standards are set, man. I'm saying fifth place is the absolute best that Chelsea achieved this season. If we do any better, I'll be over the moon. And if we do any worse, I'll be disappointed that we sacked Pochettino, to be honest, because although I didn't rate him and I didn't accept what he was doing, I genuinely think that he we we may have been in a position to do more in terms of going forward because I feel like he finally got the answer. I still think he scored us two bisque. Oh, look, we've got to sell 10 players, I think, to be honest with you. Um, funny thing is, we played well. Really, you think we played well, Ricky? Because I don't think I saw us playing well, man. I I genuinely think the officiating was rubbish, but what do we expect with Anthony Taylor? I don't think we played that great today. Against the Manchester City side that we played, I don't think we've had a great game. It's because we've not been outplayed by that Manchester City side in terms of what they were doing on the ball and popping it around us, which annoys me at the fact that we've then struggled to even have a chance today. Um, I couldn't agree more. I feel like Phoenix actually offers something in this team. I think we kind of question it, but the way we've set up today, he walks into that number 10 position. I think we could have, if defensively we don't make those mistakes, it's a nil-nil draw. I think there's an opportunity there to have a nil-nil draw against City, and we've not done enough today. We've not done enough to do that, and that is really because of defensively how poor we looked in some situations. And going forward, we definitely didn't do enough to win it. We definitely didn't do enough to win it. So a nil-nil draw there, you probably take City play to take. Yeah, look, they look like they're playing a preseason friendly, didn't they? Um, the ref's not had a great game. There are a couple of moments I felt like we might have nicked a pen. You know, sometimes I've seen them given. I'll tell you what, I'd be annoyed if I'm Madueke or a couple of other players that have had a lot of minutes in pre-season and then got nothing today because I bet they felt like they could have done something. Uh, let's see. Square pegs and round holes. I don't think Nkunku looked really bad. I felt like we looked worse once he come off, actually. I don't think Nkunku played as a winger. Neto played as a winger. Nkunku drifted inside. Um, Stupid things going against us. Yeah, but also, like, I'm not going to make them excuses, to be honest with you. We need a defender to lead the defense. And also, yeah, I kind of hear this. I think there needs to be a defender in there taking charge because it didn't look like Levi Colwell or Fafana were going to do that, to be honest with you. City got goal and took foot off the gas. They did. They did. They absolutely did. Don't No one can sit here and tell me that City kept pumping Chelsea all game long trying to score more goals because they didn't. They really did start to move the ball a lot slower. Palmer's yeah, look, I agree. A couple of you are saying that Cole didn't look as sharp as he did at points last season. I have to agree with that as well. We didn't, to be honest with you. Have Cole Palmer looking as sharp as he did. Bit poetic. We let go. Come on. I was trying to say, I kind of minced my words a bit, but I was trying to say that isn't it ironic that our best midfielder is nowhere near the level of the midfielder we let go in Kovacic as he strolled past them. The keeper obviously isn't good enough, but Kovacic looked a level above any of our midfielders on the pitch today. Um, I have to agree. I just feel like Kovacic walked past every single one of those midfielders with ease and then did what he did in terms of scoring, which none of I mean, Enzo had a shot, but none of our midfield looked like scoring, do they? Guys, we're 3 likes away from 20. Can we smash that? There's enough people in here to smash the likes above 20 as well. Let me know your thoughts. If you want, there is a link in the chat. I'll bring it up again. You can come in and have your say about today's game, about Chelsea going forward as well. It's in the chat. Join and have your say if you want to. Yeah, look, Felix walks into today's side. He absolutely does. Why are we acting like he ran directly past? They left their markers go because of it. Yeah, and as soon as they went out to Kovacic, he just rolled past them, and the pitch just kept opening up. left their mark. They weren't being marked. They were in possession. What? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Kovacic won the ball because he was alert to Fofana's poor pass. He intercepts it, puts his puts the ball down off of his chest, I think, or he won it on his foot, and it was a slightly big touch. He gets control of it, literally bounces the ball between his feet to pass a man, and the game just opened up in front of him, and no one closed him down, and he got closer and closer to the goal, and he thought, "I'll try a shot," and Sanchez was nowhere near it. Think how expensive our team is as well that played today. Think how much money that has cost. And what have we got on the pitch? Absolutely ridiculous. Why are we acting like he ran? Wait, his chair. Yeah, like come on, like, Kovacic should not have been allowed that much space. And let's be real, come on, there are Premier League midfields that do a far better. You can't tell me that even like Anana, who's gone to Aston Villa, wouldn't have been a better option in this midfield because he adds a bit of physicality and he'll get around the midfield. Look, our midfield looked like they couldn't get around at the end. The ref is with anyone against Chelsea. I will 100% back you on this, guys. He can't keep getting Chelsea games because he is of the understanding that Chelsea fans don't like him, which they don't, because of what he's done to us in the past. Todd Bowley actually didn't look happy, did he? Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. God, Todd, you wouldn't have made a mistake, would you, ripping up one of the most successful blueprints in the last 20 years? No, you wouldn't do that. Who in their right mind would do that? God, imagine. Issue if we won't get look, we ain't gonna get a new goalkeeper before transfer window ends. I just don't think we do. They'll if Sanchez is making mistakes, they'll back Jorgensen. I think this is it. If we don't recruit defensively, it's just about giving them time to improve. And if by Jan there's no difference, maybe we go and buy. If by the end of the season we still didn't recruit and there's no difference and they've managed to stay fit, then you start saying that our defense is not good enough and the manager isn't doing a good enough job to improve them. That's the other thing, by the way. This is the other thing. We've got like Willie Caballero as a coach. One of the coaches. He don't sort of seem like the coach I would want in terms of improving my players. He's a goalkeeper. I would want him with the goalkeepers and the goalkeepers only. Smash up the likes. Love that, Ricky, my man. Guys, we are probably on 20 likes by now. Let's see. 22. Guys, can we work our way up to 30? The other day, right, and I want to praise everyone in here because if you were part of that stream, I got to say a massive thanks to you. I asked for 30 likes as like a record for one of my lives on this channel, and you guys smashed it to like over 200 when we were talking about the Osman news. Thank you so much because unbelievable response from you guys. That video got so many views for this channel. I thank you so much, guys, for all of you being a part of that stream and watching and tuning in today as well. Because of that, I want to open it up, guys. If you want to come and have your say, the StreamYard link is in the chat. I'm not sure if you are able to click it through the chat. That's the only thing. So I'm trying to work out how we make that happen. If you do want to, if you're happy just listening and commenting, then do the same as well. If Enzo and Casado, your man stays, who feels the first? I think if Enzo and Casado sat, which I think is really harsh on Lavia, because I think Lavia probably had a better game than Enzo, you would probably be playing João Felix as a 10, or Cole Palmer as a 10, or Kunku as a 10. And the beauty with, if you go into that game and you have João Felix, Palmer, and Kunku, they can all rotate. They definitely can all rotate. So maybe that's what it looks like. But for me, Enzo as the furthest man forward, that just can't happen. He can't lead the press, by the way. That's a big mistake from the manager. Enzo Fernandez can't lead the press. They will. I think they will. They will offload players. Wesley Fofana's on a lot of money, and anyone with wages right now is being offloaded. And I got a funny feeling that if he can put some performances together, he might be on his way out unless he starts performing. Everyone else on those kind of wages is going. You need to look at Jorgensen. Look, Jorgensen will probably play Thursday night, don't you think? I think he probably will. Sanchez has had a stinker today. I don't feel confident in getting any points at Wolves. They must be licking their lips. I don't know. Wolves didn't look great against Arsenal. They didn't look great. Chelsea would have played another game by the time we get around. Look, let's see about this Servette first. I know they're not a great team, but we should be playing them off the park on Thursday night. If we don't, then we worry about Wolves. Then we worry about Wolves. Um, Enzo who? Enzo Fernandez or Maresca? Because Maresca, I feel like I'm not being that harsh on. He's made a couple of choices today that I don't feel were right. The way he chose his team to play or asked his team to play, he should have stuck to what he's good at. He's got a lot of work to do off the back of this, and I don't understand why he would play this system when that just isn't what he's about. That's not how he wants his team to play. He proved that. Another Chelsea YouTube platform said, "You don't care what Tobo does." Well, you should, because yeah, you should. Any Chelsea fan should be caring what he's done. They should care what Todd Bowley's doing. He's your owner. He runs the club. He's the chairman of Chelsea, and he's making issues for Chelsea that weren't needed. We didn't need these sort of issues, and they've come up out of nowhere, probably because of his choices, his and Egbali's. Chelsea need to sign Ivan Toney. Look, I don't. I've got a feeling that Ivan Toney's going to struggle to get a move unless he gets one late on in the window. He's in a very dangerous position that he ends up staying at Brentford and never gets his move away. Enzo was good. I don't know Enzo who Enzo. What Enzo? We need to clarify this because if we're talking about Enzo Fernandez, he weren't good today. He was woeful. Think the defenders they look to offload are Disasi and Chalobah. They probably do, don't they? They probably do look to offload him and them two and Chilwell. I think, guys. If Enzo Fernandez, what have you seen to think he had a good game today? Because I didn't see him have a good game at all. He hasn't had a good game. You can't have been watching the same game. Enzo Fernandez as a 10, off the ball, woeful. Defensively, didn't offer anything. Going forward, his touch was poor every time he got on the ball. He made not a lot happen at all. He progressed our play better than anyone. No, he didn't. No, not a chance. He definitely didn't progress our play better than anyone. I actually would even say Lavia progressed the play best out of the midfield three. And I actually think at times the defense progressed the ball better than anyone. That's ridiculous. He put Jackson in multiple times. No, he didn't. Twice. If that's multiple, that's crazy. Why don't you just say twice? This is wow, Adam. Adam, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that, Adam. I absolutely don't think you saw the same game as we did because even the commentators have said Enzo Fernandez hasn't had a good game today. Enzo Fernandez did not have a good game. One good pass or putting a player in on goal doesn't relate to a whole good performance. Enzo Fernandez control of the ball today in vital areas was shocking. He dived multiple times to try and win fouls to make up for the fact he wasn't able to control the football. He had an opportunity, yes, where he was through and was in a good position. And I think Jackson tackled him. Defensively, every single time the ball was with Manchester City's defenders and they popped it round him, he waved his hands in the air because he couldn't get close enough. In transition defensively, they breezed past him every single time. When he dropped back to a 6, he didn't look as good as Lavia or Casado did today. What are we saying here? He's not had a good performance. What? No, he did. Come on, mate. You've not seen the same game, Adam. Brentford basically came out today and said there's a move for Tony behind the scenes. Oh, where? Do you want Ivan Toney? Do you reckon it's for us? Where else is he going? Newcastle? Has he got Newcastle links from before? Spurs aren't going to sign him. Arsenal? If I was Arsenal, I'd probably take Ivan Toney. I really do. Okay. Yeah, guys, realistically, whatever we've seen today isn't good enough because we shouldn't be having a game where we're talking about a goalkeeper and defenders costing us. Because if Ricky says Enzo was terrible, the rumors is Saudi. That's unbelievable if it is. We haven't been good enough today in certain areas of the pitch on repeat occasions. That's a problem. There's been individual errors, which is obviously a problem. But look, when there's silly individual errors, you can improve. But when you've seen the goalkeeper do it for a whole season before in Sanchez, you know the improvement's not coming. Wesley Fofana, what are we saying? It's rustiness, or is that him as a defender? We're not sure. We probably haven't seen enough. Enzo Maresca as a manager. Is that the style of football you expected to see from Enzo Maresca? No. Is that the style of football he expects to see from his Chelsea team? Probably not. I don't think it is. It's nowhere near what we saw from his Leicester team, or even what we saw pre-season. Don't get what I fancy. Yeah, honestly, Jorginho is better than Enzo Fernandez by quite some way. As soon as Chelsea fans understand that Enzo Fernandez hasn't been good enough for Chelsea and 100% is not good enough to be playing as our number 10 and our furthest man forward or be Chelsea's vice captain, we're going to get somewhere. We're going to start progressing because he just isn't. Issue is for the owners. Look, honestly, I agree with that. There's been a lot less focus on the here and now, but your players, if you don't focus on the here and now, by the time you get round to that 2030 goal or whenever it is, those players aren't going to be worth anything. And the players that you thought you could make a profit on in 8 years' time, 6 years' time, they're not going to be good enough. They're just not. We're not seeing enough. So the issue for me is that hasn't been addressed, and it isn't being addressed. To be honest with you, the here and now. Pedro Neto is probably the only signing, maybe Tosin, if you're happy with it. So I don't know. I really don't know. But a frustrating game for me, a really frustrating game because they're really silly issues that hopefully you iron out, but should be ironed out in pre-season. The rustiness shouldn't be coming into the season. It's not like Fofana and Colwell haven't played games. It's not like Sanchez hasn't played games this pre-season. Jorgensen, is he better than that? Maybe. He probably is. I don't think it's hard for a goalkeeper to be better than what we saw from Sanchez today. He pulled off one or two all right saves, I felt. But then actually what we saw towards the end was woeful, wasn't it? And actually as a performance as a whole, it probably wasn't good enough. Because him playing out as well arguably led to that. Is that his fault? Yes and no. It's his choice, isn't it, to do what he wants. There was plenty of times today I saw Sanchez go long as well. Wasn't it? He played out every single time. So he chose to do it in that moment, and it caused an issue for us. Wesley Fofana felt like he had no options, felt like he had to boot the ball up towards a striker. Well, where's our number 10 in that situation, trying to get on the ball? Where's our midfield trying to create an option there? Enzo Fernandez weren't nowhere to be seen. Defensively, Enzo Fernandez wasn't anywhere to be seen. What are we saying here? Like, in that moment, it's not good enough. If we get Osimhen a defender, then I'm okay with the window other than a goalkeeper. I imagine at least he proves more. I agree. I think a striker and a centre back of quality have to be added to this team in order for us to compete and move up towards the top four. I really, really do agree with that, guys. Look, I'm gonna call it a day. It was a long game. It was a tough watch. I appreciate everyone being in here. Look, it's annoying, isn't it, as Chelsea fans to try and get behind our team and then see a performance like that. So don't be too down about it. It's frustrating, I know. Let's move on. Let's focus on Servette and next week's game. And hopefully we start to see that with a bit of time, Enzo Maresca does what Poch couldn't do and improve on the mistakes that the team are clearly making. And that's what I want to see. If a manager can identify that mistakes are being made, I want to hear him speak, but they still haven't got him out. If they can identify that he is making or his team's making mistakes and his players aren't good enough, and then he rectifies it next week or going forwards, I'm happy with that. But right now, did he get things right today? No, because we played in a way that I don't think he'll be happy with. And that isn't the style of football I was under the impression he wanted to play, because it doesn't look anything like the style of football we've seen his teams play before. And there's a couple of players that, is it rustiness? Is it the fact that they've not had much of a pre-season? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Let's give it time. It's not Maresca out or anything like that yet, but we need to see an improvement on today's game. We do. And obviously, look, we're playing Servette. I want to see 4 or 5 goals get put in against them. I don't even want there to be a question in the second leg against them. I really, really don't. So let's see what happens. RC says shows what Joker Club is now. Yeah, look, this is what a lot of people have been saying about Sanchez, is that he wasn't good enough to even get into Brighton's 11. So why is he good enough to be anywhere near Chelsea's when there's obviously an issue here with his ability? You know, he got dropped by the Zerbi because he was making errors, he was making mistakes. Jason still got in over him. What does it say? But look, a worrying game today if it continues in this way. If it doesn't, and we've got Manchester City out the way, and now we've got a run in of quite okay fixtures, and it allows us to start building and playing the type of football that we need to play, then okay. I'm hoping this is a blip because I don't even think that's the style of football Maresca wants to play moving forward. I just don't think it is. I'll be intrigued to see how that looks going forwards. But look, pleasure chatting to every single one of you guys. If you're watching afterwards or you're watching now and you haven't done already, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 on the YouTube channel. If you want to communicate with me more away from YouTube, make sure to follow me on Twitter, TikTok. I go live on TikTok every day pretty much. And I'm on Twitter all the time as well, looking and chatting about football. So I'm sure I'll see you guys on the other platforms as well. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. Don't be too down about this one. I'm sure, absolutely sure, it doesn't continue like this. We have to make improvements. I will see you soon. No, he can't have. He can't have gone to the dressing room. If he's gone to the dressing room, he needs to understand that he's not recruited players that are good enough to go and compete instantly against Manchester City. He can't keep going in there. But maybe that's what he wants. Maybe Maresca wants him in. I don't know. Look, it is what it is. For me, if I was a manager, I would work for a club where the owner was coming into the dressing room. It's as simple as that. They don't come in. Even as a manager, he goes into the dressing room and leaves and lets the players get changed and go. It's just not a thing. Anyway, look, pleasure, guys. An absolute pleasure chatting to all of you as it is. We'll have more lives, definitely. I'm busy this week. I'm actually away. So I'll get the lives up when I can. I might do a couple of pre-records as well. And I will see you all very, very soon, I'm sure. A pleasure speaking to every single one of you. And next time, be aware that we're doing call-ins because I would love to speak to some of you guys. But pleasure and see you guys later.